お尻強なってゆく仲間がいる共に行こう Hello say hello to dream とめどなく溢れ出す涙きっといつかは輝くそう信じて一歩踏み出す遠く霞んでいる未来のどこか思い描いた図がきっと僕らを待ってるよ目に Hello 叫ぼう何度でも思い馳せる場所があるどんな世界でもいざ突き進め悲しみも傷も抱きしめて弱さお尻強なってゆく仲間がいる共に行こう Hello say hello to dream きっとできる言い聞かせて夢は続いてゆくどこまででも行こう声の届かない闇だって僕ら絆握りしめ小さな光でも描いていくよだから Hello 歌おうもう一度願いはまだここにあるから誓い合った明日に向かい Hello say hello to dream 共に行こう Hello say hello to dream
誰かが今涙を飲み込んでいる力が伴う悪意振りほどいて耳は聞こえちゃいないだが勇者は今力はいらない身に任せて小さなこの手は今愛してしまった全部降りかかった呪いも全部もう愛してしまった想いを全部守れるほどの光をどこからかまた悲しみが飛び交っている失ってもまた失って膝をつき息をしているそれは涙と対になって悲しみと力となって愛しさが何かを like a light, gentle breeze that goes by. All these passing days feel so far away, but our memories of that time will not fade. In your eyes I can see the blue sky. Like me, you hold on to the times we've shared. I'll never forget winter, spring I felt in the air. The sun will shine and the flowers will bloom as the world comes alive. It waits sometimes, but I'll be there with you, and together we'll wait for clear skies. Right now, take in every sight, every sound, feel the wind every day. Reach out your hands, aiming beyond the clouds, dreaming no matter how far away. Like a light, gentle breeze on spring days, this feeling of bliss always so fleeting. When you close your eyes, what is it that you see? In your eyes I can see you taking everything in this moment that we share. The scent of the oncoming rain lingered in the air. The sky turns gray, so when you're feeling blue, blame it on the rain. And once again, the light shines upon you. When the storm passes, it's a clear day. Right now, we are right where we're meant to be. Let's live free every day, 'cause we can find what's beyond this blue sea, reaching no matter how far away. Like a light spring breeze, just a fleeting memory. We lose sense of time as the seasons pass us by. If there was no rain, how could we appreciate the days with clear skies? The light breaks through where the whole world can see. Our horizon will shine. The rain has passed, we are finally free, underneath the familiar blue sky. And if you feel like you're losing your way, don't give up on this time. A gentle breeze clears our worries away, precious memories made with clear skies. The sun will shine and the flowers will bloom as the world comes alive. It rains sometimes, but I'll be there with you, and together we'll wait for clear skies.
Breath, should I take a deep? Faith, should I take a leap? Taste, what a bittersweet. All my life. Let me face Oh, let me face my fears. Won't be long, I'm almost here. But watch me cry, all my tears.
Oh, I actually have one of the videos already up, so maybe we just do that one first. Since it's that's not how we do things. There's so many ways we do things. There's so very many ways. What did you forget? He's gone forever. No more Goku T23. We'll see. We will see. Who else waiting for this? One viewer in stream. That's for hours while y'all fell off. Eric, shut the up. Happy to be here. Demon Slayer month, the iconic episode 19. Demon Slayer not peak. No more Goku T23. I wonder why is that insane? Have you seen it? Hello all. Welcome back.
It's cutting out. It sounds like the gate is too high.
There's not even a gate applied. Okay, so maybe this is too high.
Here. It's left. Listen.
Let me face. Yeah, it's like filters are applied, but there's no filters. Okay, maybe it automatically applies even if this thing isn't open. So,
Anybody want Demon Slayer? Bingo! I got him. Everybody gets a specific one. Don't try to take somebody else's. I'm marking whoever got whoever's.
yep. Yeah. We're needs to update because of course it does. Loud. Okay, so I just turned it down again.
He he's a human. We saw his mama in a panel or two, but that's all we really saw.
Did we?
Yeah.
I do not remember.
It was the chapter when he was about to die, if I'm not mistaken. Or when Bakugo. It was one of those, because it was just like, the future and legacy to the next generation or whatever.
I do not remember that at all.
That's fine.
Let's see if that's any better. It should apply a filter now, a different filter that should sound not as goofy with the whole thing. Oh yeah, because we're really
sounds worse.
so it's definitely this thing. So let's disable it, period, and see what that sounds like. Sup boys, finally got my driver's license a few days ago. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I got mine about 2 months ago.
He's literally testing it on the phone. That's why we're talking and going through everything.
Yeah, that was a little loud, but that's because
Okay.
Let me do this. See how that sounds.
Hi Zaldonix says, I see that the universe does not want you to watch these videos. I say let's listen.
No, sounds fine.
Okay, yep. So I just had to turn off the filters. I don't know what that's about, but it should be better now. Yeah, there's not even really a time for a preamble. Did everyone get their food and drinks ready? There's no food or drinks needed for this.
Yeah. Quick in and out. We're all gonna be educated.
Episode
we're
19.
Gonna learn episode 19, of course. And we'll all come out better.
Just watched Kung Fu Panda 4, my least favorite of them all, but it did make me appreciate Puss in Boots. I still have not watched that.
I haven't either. I'm waiting for a time to do that, and that time may never come.
Unfortunately, I can't stay long because I'm preparing for my cousin's 18th birthday party. Just here to say what's up, BG and DA. Hey, stop coming to these. Thanks for being here, but stop coming to these. How much does someone have to pay for you both to review Homestuck content? Nobody has to pay for that.
Homestuck is the problem is there's just so much of it, and what's like
I've never even really knew what that was.
I've seen like 2 videos on the history and the rise and fall of it. Just because back in the 2008 2009 they were everywhere in conventions.
Yeah. And I just never knew what it actually was.
Yeah. So yeah, the biggest thing with that would be it wouldn't be interesting because it just be us going okay.
It's pretty good.
$1 million. I mean,
first
I
comment
probably would feel bad.
First comment. There's no BG 445.
It's always Tanny time.
Not necessarily. Oh, whoever wins bingo, as always, first place, 10,000 points. Second place, 7,500. Third place, 5,000. You are wrong about Demon Slayer, kinda. There you go. Calling it now. The "you're all wrong" kind of video is gonna say, yeah, the series is carried by animation, but that's a good thing because it's a visual medium. You dummy.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Well, we're about to see.
Yeah, if you want a bingo, let me know, and I'll throw it to you in the comments, hopefully, because that was always contentious.
I grabbed the wrong one there.
Excellent.
Yep, that is what we do sometimes. And I
do
not have it downloaded. All kinds of blah 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 blah. Yep, I do not have it downloaded for some reason. So give me 1 second there.
The state of you.
I legitimately.
I didn't read Gavin say that. I was saying it myself. But yes, the absolute state of you.
Hey, sometimes things happen that way. Yep. All right. There it is. Oh, that's so weird. Why did I download? I'm gonna blame DA on this one. All right.
Nami the Goat says, how much for Lily Orchid MLP pedo fanfic reading?
Demon Slayer is a universal.
That's our channel goal.
Yeah, nobody wants
that much. It can't happen.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Why would you want that? Let's turn.
It is a physical impossibility to do that because it is.
As you said,
fanfic.
You said the words, and you're like, "But when though?" Boop. There we go. All right. Description, boys. We are talking about for the first one. You are wrong about Demon Slayer, kinda, by Fumbus Wumbus.
Oh, I'm giving that his bingo card.
Yep. There. How does bingo work? The Demon Slayer bingo is if you hear something that's on your bingo card that happens in this.
Lend me your energy.
I'll get to that in a second. Then you scratch off one of the bingos, and if you get a bingo, so that's all the bingo. That should be Tanny if possible, but bingo in a correct order, correct pattern, you win.
The number 4 is Hope. Don't
Number
try to
4
take
is Hope.
Hope's bingo card.
Thank you for re-upping. Soul.
Anybody else want one? Anybody else? Did anybody ask for one?
Wait, we got bingo cards. Do we win Mark Month? No, you don't. Or Vacation to Hawaii. You do not get that. So yeah, if somebody says it's a simple story and that's one of yours, then you mark that off. If someone mentions episode 19 and somebody in it mentions episode 19, there you go.
Silver Heart Soul says, Sup, I might be in and out D&D today.
Hey, D&D is fun.
It's so much fun. Yeah. Nobody's listening to you, you cuck. And I guess nobody's listening to us cucks.
5.
Where do I get a card? You just ask DA for one. Pizza Steak wants a card.
Piece of steak. That's why I said to do. I said this while we were still loading up. I mean, yo, everybody who wants a bingo card. Nobody say nothing. Now it's like, okay, go time. Bingo, everyone. Pizza 6. Don't try to take pizza steaks because I got them all numbered. And yeah. So description, boys.
Yep. Pizza Steak, that's yours. The one that's just been added by Comp Bro.
Demon Slayer is mid.
Trayvon wants one as well.
Frowny face.
Demon Slayer is mid, frowny face. Nami wants one as well.
Description, boys.
Demon Time is probably not on one of them.
Demon Time is not on one of them.
Yours should be in the Discord already, Dad.
Yours is in the Discord. 7? Is that 7? I hope it's 7.
I was 16 minutes late. Not my fault I didn't hear about bingo. It's everybody's fault but ours.
And who else was the last one?
Nami wants one. And that should be it. And then we can officially start.
All right. Just it's not like a time thing. If you do want one when you come in, it's fine. Just ask for one.
Yep. I should have a... Yeah, I'm going to set that up in a second. But not right now.
Demon Slayer is a universally loved anime, popularity-wise. Critically speaking, it's a bit more divisive.
That's one of them. It mentions the sales.
Oh, no!
Already! I didn't expect it that soon!
Suck my dick. That's my request to you.
Yes.
Demon Slayer is known for not really having the most complex or masterful narrative in the world, and considered to be simply carried by its animation, because according to the anime buffs, if you decided to read the manga, it wouldn't be as pretty and all of its glaring issues would be brought to the forefront.
Yes.
However, some disagree with that notion, saying that Demon Slayer isn't carried by animation.
I don't care about these literal shorts. 40 seconds of... That tells me nothing. This is not a point of... These people don't believe...
Chris the Chill
I
says,
give a...
Wake up, Tanny. A list exists is live. Smile.
Ask DA or at Comp Bros.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
For a bingo card.
The GOAT.
Alright. And every 5 minutes that should pop up. And now we don't need to keep reminding people about bingo.
And that its simplicity is a good thing. Some say it's only good because of animation. Some say the simplicity is the charm. Some say reading the manga
I
will make
would
you...
not have put Captain Mac in there, as some people say that is good just because of the animation, because he has a lot more issues with it. And what did he say about Nux?
Is DA 445 part of one of them?
Yes.
Okay, that just means that DA said something sus in regards to children. That's all it is. He said some people say that simplicity is the point or the charm of it, and that was nuts.
Simplicity is a good thing. Some say it's only good because of animation. Some say the simplicity is the charm. Some say reading the manga would make you think otherwise. Some say fuck you. It's really good. You're stupid. Your opinion is stupid. So which one?
What's okie doke is if we think the argument is going to be one thing, but it turns out to be something completely different. So if this is, we believe is mostly going to be about animation, but he talks about the characters, that's an okie doke.
Of these claims do I think hold the most weight? All of them. In my eyes, all 4 of them are correct. In fact, here's what I think. Demon Slayer is carried by animation, and that's a good thing.
Oh, dude, didn't Gavin say exactly this? Wasn't this his exact...
Go back to the 4 points. are we doing out here? The manga is mid. Yes, that's true. You're dumb. Simple is good. Carried by animation. All of these are true.
Bar for bar. Oh, flow.
Never for a second left.
In fact, here's what I think. Demon
Unknown
Slayer
Gaming
is
XL
carried
says,
by animation.
We never left.
Never.
And that's a good thing.
Silver Heart Soul says,
Don't invoke them.
does that count as an okie doke?
I don't think so because the parenthesis says kinda.
Yeah, and it is in the title, I mean in the screenshot, the thumbnail, that it does say animation, so that I wouldn't call that a okie doke.
Now, let me be as clear as I can be. I am also guilty of making fun of Demon Slayer. I used to pass it off as normie bullshit that didn't really have much going for it outside of its animation. Everybody told me that it was cliche, kind of
Ian
generic.
Spice says, got to go for an hour play bingo for me.
That's your fault.
Chris the Chode says, just because a plot or theme is the point of a show, doesn't excuse the fact that this criticism that's coming your way, lil bro.
Legitimately, like just going, oh, that's the point, it's not enough. Does this count as a unique point? No.
And that I would like it, but I wouldn't really love it, so I just kind of passed it off for a while. Later on in life, I really started to appreciate visuals and aesthetics in storytelling so much more. To the
You can appreciate it, absolutely.
Yes.
But the story is a 2. The characters are a 2. Everything is sub 5, but the animation is a 10. You can appreciate that, but you must recognize that's not enough to prop this up as more than anything but pretty.
And on top of that, aesthetics and visuals are two different things. You can have a steampunk aesthetic and visually be terrible. You can have amazing visuals, but simplistic and bland aesthetics. There's two different things here. Why in the animation in the bingo? It might be in one of them,
It's
and
not.
two
It's
is
not.
because this specifically talks about it. It's like a
Too
free
easy.
space.
Free space.
Later on, fuck, you're an adult.
Cyberman Wolf says, loco at all this fence sitting.
Dude, already.
point where some of my favorite pieces of media of all time have been the ones where the story and message is kind of vague, but the visuals are...
Look at this! This is a very unique looking art style, aesthetic, and visual. Then you have Demon Slayer, which is just pretty.
It is animation, but it's pretty. This is a unique art style.
Come on, dude, you can't be conflating these aesthetics with visuals.
main appeal. Or
Look at
kind of
this!
the main talking.
This is the main appeal. This is, look at this, and I'm sure that this is playing into the story. This isn't just look at it. It's working in tandem with the story. This is the manga. I mean, the anime is just always pretty.
Point. That's one of the main reasons I love Bloodborne, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Gray Man, Mad God, and so on and so forth. Wow, there's a lot more to these properties than meets the eye, and even though
Neo
story
Arcadia says, tap.
characters will always go a lot
How do you get a bingo? Ask
how you
DA
get a
or
bingo.
at Cop Bros for a bingo card. It popped up right as I said that.
longer way for me. I've accepted that there's nothing wrong with an aesthetic or a style being a key draw to why you like something so much.
No, that's not the problem. Liking something, thinking it's good are two totally separate things. You can like the visuals of Demon Slayer and still say, hey, it's a really, really bad manga, anime, story, what have you, series, piece of media. But God, it's really pretty.
Because, surprise, surprise, this is a visual medium.
Yes. It
Yo,
is.
this is exactly what Gavin said. And you're dumb. Okay. Yes, it's a
Hi
visual
Daldonic
medium.
says, the difference is that these are actually good.
Yes, it's a visual medium, but it's visual storytelling. The medium is to tell a story. If the story sucks, then you just have very pretty pictures moving.
And the visuals should be very important.
No, it does not need to be important. just because it's a visual medium. Movies are a visual medium, but it does not make all the scenes visually important. They could just be regular. It could be a man in a box talking, which is what happened with the Ryan Reynolds thing movie, where he's just stuck in a coffin talking to himself. The medium itself is visual, but it does not mean that all the rest of that needs to be an amazing aesthetic, an amazing visual to be a good storytelling device in a visual medium.
Now, with this in mind, I did end up really enjoying Demon Slayer. I wouldn't say...
And you see, with this in mind, it's already been established. This is a visual media, so it needs to be good. With that, you just said it.
Yeah, you sold the horse. It's over.
I love it, but I really like and respect Demon Slayer. It's okay if you don't like Demon Slayer because maybe it's a bit too tropey, maybe you yearn for something more complex or something that takes more risks. And yeah, Demon Slayer's story isn't perfect or anything.
Nuent says,
He tried.
Man the blind must only enjoy half the stories they read.
Have to.
Much as I'm debating this carried by animation notion, I can see where they're coming from. Demon Slayer can be pretty formulaic and repetitive in its arc structure. Well,
the
I think
formulaic issue is not the problem. It's not the tropes that are the issue. It's the things that just don't make sense. Going to sleep for 2 years, being hypnotized, the plant things. It's the issues with the plot. I don't care about formulae. I don't care about repetition. I care about points that you can point to and just go, that don't make no sense. And then people just go, pretty, 19.
characters change in subtle but meaningful ways in my eyes, and I don't think they're as one-dimensional as
subtle and meaningful ways in your eyes?
And you don't think there is one-dimensional as people? Of course there's gonna be people that are just like, oh, Zenitsu's just Screamy Boy. But he's not just Screamy Boy. If you look at your bingo, which one was Carlos? 10? I don't know.
Carlo was 10.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at your bingo. Popular equals good. Let's just say you get popular equals
There's 5
good.
rows across. Just 5 down or diagonal, not in the same row.
Yep.
1 in each column.
Yep.
Going down.
Yep. So if you had
In
all
a
your
line. In a line. Needs to be a line.
if you had all your top row, that would be it. ALX goes off topic. If you had that 19, DA445, Nezuko Cute, and Okidoke, you would not win. Those are in totally different rows, totally different columns. They're not connecting. Think of it like tic-tac-toe. They need to connect.
I can see why people would want more from them, and in this recent season, many have felt that the pacing has been pretty weird, to say the least.
Lock in, Tanjiro. Like, I feel like they end in the middle of a scene.
But when I hear people say it's only good because of animation, well, first off, that kind of downplays Demon Slayer's other strengths as a series, and
Straight to the point.
Mostly? What do you mean in parentheses? That must mean, yes, it's straight to the point. Well, mostly, so there's times where it's not. So what are the times where it is, and what are the times where it's not? You can't just say, mostly. What the do you mean? Don't just put this up here and just go, that's my point made. You're wrong about Demon Slayer. It's straight to the point, mostly. Am I right? Am I wrong? What am I right about? What am I wrong about?
Fun character interactions. That's almost any series. Even a series with not great characters can have that. Unique art style. I don't think the art style is unique. I think the visuals are unique. Genuine heart. Genuine as opposed to the fake ones. Genuine heart and emotional moments. Every series has this. What are we doing? Okay, you can say these are parts of its strengths, but two out of 4, at the very least, you can say for almost any other series. So once you take those away, you've got unique art style, which is not really true, and straight to the point mostly. And if you're doing those two things, is that enough to go, yeah, animation, but also it gets straight to the point mostly?
And you're wrong about Demon Slayer because it has a unique art style and genuine
Cyberman
heart
Wolf
and emotional
says,
moments.
I feel all the qualifiers he adds on afterwards are diminishing his point overall.
Absolutely.
Secondly, it kind of belittles animation as a medium, as if
No, it doesn't.
No.
It is a very bad story with very bad characters that people only believe is good because of the animation. That does not belittle it. If anything, it makes the animation the most important aspect of the story.
The things that trend on Twitter are not the emotional, heartfelt moments. It is the pretty. It is a sound man doing his sound thing. It's episode 19. It's those things. I think the Nezuko
That did get a little bit, but it was nowhere near the other two.
if animation is more of a bonus or an additive rather than a form of expression, a respectable art form.
Pizza
The
Steak
whole-
says, it looks good in my eyes. Is he watching it upside down?
point of a
Kevin
cart-
Armstrong says, you can put glitter on a piece of turd, but it's still a piece of turd.
It's still a turd.
And that's what he's not. That's not what he's not seeing it. Like
And he's going, but you're not seeing the good parts of the turd. It fertilizes the land. And
cartoon is that it's a cartoon. And anime should fully utilize its animation to tell whatever story it's telling in the best way it possibly can.
but is Demon Slayer being told in the best way it possibly can?
What about Demon Slayer is enhanced by the storytelling? I mean, by the animation. Or is it
Outside
just
of the animation
the
itself.
animation is good, and that's a point over here. Spider-Verse, it's enhanced by the animation.
Yeah,
It
all
gives
the
it-
comic stuff.
Yeah, it gives it that otherworldly sort of feeling. This is normal animation ramped up to a 10.
In my opinion, this is a visual medium, and in a visual medium, presentation is everything. And
No, it's not everything. It's a part of it. If you want to go with really good animation, like that Tom and Jerry stuff, like this stuff you're showing, what is happening in these scenes? They're very pretty, but do they have a point to them? What's the story surrounding them? Is that stuff good?
Hungers for Host says, currently on a watch of Digimon Tamers. Holy shit, it's so much better than Demon Slayer by miles. One arc of Tamers clears the whole show.
But it's not pretty.
Cyberman
so shut
Wolf
up.
says, this guy thinks he is defending animation when we say Demon Slayer is carried by animation when we are more just saying that Big Freddy doesn't solve everything.
Yeah,
Kinda.
yeah. His point is, I don't know what he's attacking directly. I don't know what he thinks the other people are complaining about when they say that it's carried by animation. Because he's just going, yes, it is.
I
And that's
will
the point.
defend animation from the animation age ghetto mindset. But that is, whoops, this stupid ad thing. But that is not what we are arguing when we say Demon Slayer is bad.
He's arguing a point that is not the point that people are making.
presentation can apply to almost everything, not just spectacle. Presentation.
No, presentation can be part of the spectacle. Demon Slayer is a spectacle first. The presentation, what have you. It's the spectacle that people talk about. How many gifs do you see of Demon Slayer where it's just Tanjiro?
The fun stuff.
The fun
them
stuff.
running around the room and yelling and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't trend.
When did people start calling Demon Slayer amazing? When did it start trending on Twitter? Episode 19, really pretty. All that Nezuko stuff was happening before, but who was talking about it?
When it comes to how you present your dialogue and characters matters as well. Again, if you prefer an innovative story over visuals,
No, see, you can have both, and that's the problem.
This doesn't have both.
You're trying to say the people complaining are separating the two. Oh, animation when I just want a good story. Oh, good story when I just want animation. No, it can have both. Demon Slayer has one, and people don't like the other aspect of it.
that's your preference, that's fine. But if you truly
What? What age is 1 year over the age of consent? Why, that is 19, sir.
think that the animation has that much of a bearing over the quality of an action anime where the fights are the key draw, or you simply think it's a
No, the fights, even if the fights are the key draw, it doesn't necessarily mean that the animation has to be the most fluid, the most visually striking. Because Naruto is one of the most popular anime of all time, and 80% of their fights do not look great. Dragon Ball is the action anime.
We only went through 4 minutes and it's already a -10.
You don't get to decide that for your bingo.
shallow reason to enjoy an anime? Then why are you watching anime?
Yo, I need to hear that whole thing. This might set me off. Hold on.
An action anime where the fights are the key draw, or you simply think it's a shallow reason to enjoy an anime? Then why are you watching anime? What?
It is a shallow reason to enjoy an anime. I just saw a clip online recently of just like, why did they go so hard in this scene? And people are like, yo, what anime is this? But if I showed you Tadano and Komi talking, how many people are gonna go, yo, what's this manga?
You said,
but it's amazing.
The action is the point of it, but there's a lot of stuff leading up to the action. The entertainment district is, what, 2 fights maybe? Near the end? 3 episodes of fighting and then a lot of build-up? There's a lot of stuff in between that. And if it's 70% not action and then 30% action, that's a lot of stuff that you're waiting for. And when you say the action is the point of it, and all you've got is 30% action and 70% of just like, this is fine, or I'm waiting for the action, that's what the issue is.
Fights don't equal good story. Why are you watching anime for the story?
Yeah.
Tap out BG. Komi doesn't have fights. So if episode 19, is it only when he says 19, or does it count when you guys do? They have to say.
They have to say it because that's too easy.
The characters are the key draw for an action anime and story in general. The characters are the reason why you care about the action.
Why are they fighting?
Nami the
You
Goat
have to
says,
give a reason why they're
I
fighting.
hate that I finished Komi in 2 days now. I want more Komi and King's Game let me down.
That's why I say you always bank them, because I've got a lot of Komi left. I got a lot of King Game left.
But it is a shallow reason. Action anime could have good characters as well as good action. A lot of popular animated shows have pretty visuals, and popular manga have really good drawings and scene layout to attract an audience, but they should stay for the story and characters.
The reason why you care about the fighting should be, I want this character to accomplish whatever goal they're doing in this fight.
As opposed to super pretty.
Yeah, saving somebody, beating this person, testing, whatever that is, you want them to accomplish that. And then you go, wow, it's pretty, look at this. We keep saying this, but it's the seasoning, it's not the meal. And this dude is treating it like it's the meal.
Lol, why are you reading that book about fighting? You can't see those techniques.
Man.
The animation can't be that good because people didn't like season 3 as much as season 2. That proves that animation equals good. Argument is stupid.
8 minutes left somehow.
Yo, what?
Why don't you just read a fucking book or something?
Oh, you nerd! You read, nerd! Read this book, nerd! If you want stories, check this out! Cool, intricate. I hate how I knew exactly your reference. Cool, meaningful character interactions, dips. Now check this out.
Dude, you can't be advocating for this. Muff is saying the story is not good, and therefore the only reason why people are watching this is because of the animation. You're just going, well, yeah, the animation is amazing. If you don't want animation, read a book. No, you've missed the point.
But Fumbus, what about the manga? Isn't that a major point of criticism as well? Well, after
And you see, I understand it is for comedic purposes.
Of course.
But when you represent somebody as this big buck-tooth,
goofy mother,
this person is
Chris the
stupid
Jolt
for
says,
saying, but the
I'm a
manga
elitist and I'll pick my stories faster than this dude's father getting the milk. Glass of milk.
glass of milk.
Space Dandy has good animation. Why isn't it popular like Demon Slayer? Because it didn't have those super pretty action scenes with super melodramatic overtones.
It is the point of animation, but it is always a point of luck. Because UFO
The
Table
Crimson Globe
animated
Abstract says,
Fate.
things in Demon Slayer that doesn't make sense. Nezuko barely talked throughout the whole series. Wisteria almost not being used by anyone. No upper moons being defeated until Tanjiro joined.
Read a book. But UFO Table animated the Fate series, but that didn't catch on, even though it's almost as pretty. In some cases,
Jay
better.
says,
Some people could say.
haven't you seen episode 19?
Everybody has. But it is a factor of just luck also being a factor of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how prevalent Twitter was back then when Fate was going on.
Oh, definitely not.
And I'm sure that has a big, a lot of things to do with it.
Kill la Kill looks amazing, and that story is leads better than Demon
I
Slayer.
love Kill la Kill.
Comey is the new scat dance. Can't stop bringing it up.
I didn't bring up Comey, and I didn't bring up Scat Dance in at least a couple of episodes, I think.
Fumbus Wumbus have voyaged into the depths of the manga world in pursuit of proving the haters wrong. I was pleased to discover. Yeah, they're kind of right. I don't think the Demon Slayer manga is
Pause.
very.
He read the manga.
Nami the Goat says,
Yep.
I brought
Rip
a girl
y'all.
home to watch Demon Slayer and she loved it. Triggered.
Yeah, oh, good job, Trigger. Whatever the step means.
I don't like Demon Slayer like that, but I brought a girl over and she liked it. She don't even with anime. Why are you doing this? Why are you like this?
So now, homeboy, he has read the manga and he agrees. So now we must assume that he is going.
He understands now.
Yes, this is a 5 or a 6, but with the animation, it is all pumped up to a 8 or a 9. And I don't think that should be like that. Even though it's a visual medium, the story is what matters. You're looking at the fights and just going, wow. I don't see how looking at a prettier fight makes your rating even better.
Yeah, they're kind of right. I don't think the Demon Slayer manga is very entertaining, and I think this is where the simplicity of Demon Slayer goes from a charming bonus to kind of just being, I mean, you know, it's kind of...
The simplicity is the charming bonus as opposed to the animation being the charming bonus? So the story literally takes a backseat to the animation. Dude, this video is irritating me.
From a charming bonus to kind of just being, I mean, you know, it's kind of cool, I like it, but... And this is not to do with the story of Demon Slayer per se, as I feel this is more so because the art of the manga isn't too great.
So it's not a unique visual style!
Yeah. And what's wrong with this?
I truly don't know.
It looks a little weird, but I wouldn't. This is supposed to. I'm assuming this is supposed to convey the motion of him back. And I don't know if he's laying there or he just flew back or what.
Yeah,
but I can tell
clearly got
exactly
hit
what
back.
this is. I wouldn't say that this is bad. I just say it's just a little wonky.
I feel really bad critiquing art since I am also someone who does art, and I've not gotten nearly as successful with mine
Smart
as
Explains Comics says, I bet Triggered was cutting onions while he was watching Demon Slayer and saying, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon, bro. I don't care. Yeah, I love the Fate series, but it is a hard barrier to entry. I didn't even know it was a franchise when I first started. Hey, I understand. If Demon Slayer was a book, would it be better or worse than the manga? Would it be worse than the manga or better?
Priscilla says, I love the aesthetic and art style of stop-motion movies like Paranorman, Kubo and the Two Strings, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Isle of Dogs, but I also love the story and characters of those movies.
Hey, Isle of Dogs is so
says,
f***ing good.
Lair that's someone else's speed paint, not his own art.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's fine.
Just do your own art then.
It's too hard.
Hey, Isle of Dogs is this. Raven, as far as if it would be better, I think it would be better strictly because I think your imagination could do a lot more with the with what's going on.
Oh hell no.
Or no.
Harugotoge has with theirs, and I don't want to act like I know exactly what I'm talking about just because I'm voyaging into...
Dude, it's crazy because I was looking at that, I was like, dang, he's really good. And I was just like, oh, that's not even you, fam.
The manga world filled with artists who are eons above me in artistic skill. But I'll try my best. When compared to its fierce competition, I don't really think Demon Slayer stacks up very well. The art itself isn't very detailed, and it doesn't have to be, but the choreography...
What do you mean it's not very detailed? Showcase that. I don't know what you mean, and I read the manga.
Hey, Coraline is so f***ing good. And it's coming back to theaters in August, and you bet your boy, day one ticket, boys!
But then he just goes, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, so it doesn't stack up to its counterparts, but it doesn't have to. Even though you're going, it's not very good. Like, I don't know what your point is.
If you know, crossed swords, raccoon.
Only the old heads.
And flow in the manga is very flat. There isn't a sense of motion or weight to these fights, and provides mainly
Based on what?
Yeah.
Can you show something that does convey the flow of action? Can you do something that does convey the weight of an action? Instead of just saying, these don't.
But he can't. Because he doesn't know how to critique the manga because he's an anime boy. And this is only done to prop up the anime.
Yeah.
The manga, the reasons why you don't feel those things is because it feels kind of floaty and it just doesn't have a lot of weight to it. And it doesn't have the sense of motion. But you see that and thus it's elevated. He can't do that. Outside of just going, it's bad and this is good. This is good because this is bad. No.
I also don't like that he's using very early artwork, because mangaka do get better as time goes on for the most part. And this is like, what, 15, 20 chapters in, maybe? That's not really fair to me. Is it a remake? No, they're just re-releasing it for theaters and putting it in 3D.
Simple and brief slash...
Do you believe there are YouTubers who now believe Demon Slayer is bad, but because they were deriding episode 19, they have to keep up the... There have already been people for this past season that were just like, yo, this season wasn't very good, y'all. Like, they're trying, but they understand that this was not the season. And I honestly believe it's because they didn't have enough hype fights. And the pacing was kind of weird.
And he goes, this doesn't convey a sense of motion. What does he mean? You can look at it and just go, okay, the Obi are slashing, Tanjiro is slashing. You can see where his arm is blurred in a way that he's slashing in a horizontal motion at this point.
I mean, the art's fine. Why not put up your own art?
Yeah.
The only thing I can think is he didn't have one where he's drawing, but even then...
Why not just do it?
Just throw up some of your art. It's fine. The art's fine.
Nami the Goat says, I like the animation of Cats 2019 and it was a story, I guess.
Ain't nobody.
I don't see how you can like that.
A sense of motion or weight to these fights, and provides mainly very simple and brief slash lines that fail to give the fights a sense of real energy.
Smonix Comics says, Skeet Dance character tier list when? Varia says,
I can give it.
I noticed how he is talking about the manga art and he has not mentioned the mangaka's name once.
He did get
Does any Demon Slayer fan actually know them?
He put up the picture and he said their name.
Go back. Because he says simple slash line, and you can see it's got fire on it.
And it was, yeah.
And this is
brief slash line.
And the one on the right, I don't know what's happening because it's too zoomed in to the point where there is sound effects up at the top that are continuing, but you've cut them off. So I don't know what's happening there.
It looked like he started at a downward slash and went upwards.
But the one on the left, yeah, you can see the flame, you can see the art that is traveling, you can see her dodging.
He started like at the base of his neck, wide at the base of his neck, and brought it all the way down to his knees, but you can't feel the weight of the slash as opposed to the anime?
I can't critique the one on the left. It looks fine. You can see what it's going for. What's the problem? The only problem is it's bad.
I would count this as a unique point.
That failed to give the fights a sense of real energy. Now, obviously, the characters and such are still the same likable fellows, which is good, because I really love Inosuke. And the art at the end of the day is still what I would consider fine art. And it's perfectly readable, but for a...
Go back to the one with the number 1 on, because I think those both were good. I wouldn't count those as fine. I'd count those as good. The one on the left, the duality, if you want to talk about
I understand.
the duality between the demon side and the actual swordsman thing. I've always liked the things on the right where things travel over into panels.
Yeah.
I've
always loved
always really liked that. So And again, the mother can only say it's good. It's worthless. You're defending this. You are saying you are wrong about this thing. The manga's good. Not talking about how the demon side on his left, his hair is also affected, not just his face, and the demon the fire demon birthmark thing is different anything, but he's just not. I don't see how people can do this.
Oh, what? Horrible not in there? Oh, it seems to be cutting out.
Bottom right one's pinky just kind of disappears.
Yeah, maybe. It kind of blends into it. But there was a point I wanted to address. Does this claim count as claims with no evidence? I would say yes. He's not evidencing why you don't feel
he's
the
just
way.
saying it's good, and that's
I would consider fine art. And it's perfectly readable, but for a story as simple and combat heavy as Demon Slayer, I do think it needs that extra push in presentation.
Pause. You say it's combat heavy, but then you show not fighting. And like I said, there is a lot of lead up to the fighting. The entertainment district arc, there basically is no fighting until the end. It's not as combat heavy as you perceive it to be.
Maybe you take away that point because he might be evidencing it, Trayvon, so hold up on it.
Mia's art would have been perfect for Demon Slayer.
Never mind, you keep your point.
Such pristine detail, you feel a stronger sense of impact with the blows.
He's holding up his arm and you feel a bigger impact with the blows. Do you understand?
Not related at all, but what is your favorite stop motion movie?
Isle of Dogs.
It was by the makers of Wallace and Gromit. It's about the pirates, and Hugh Jackman was the main pirate.
Band of Thieves?
It was very funny. But yeah, this is a mother that doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't know how to critique something, doesn't know how to praise something. So he just goes, this is good, it has impact. I would not praise like violins.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it sounds good.
It sounds really
But then
pretty.
A month, who knows violins? Like, oh, the C, how they transfer from the C to the D to the fortissimo and all this other bull. And I just like, oh, I like how it went.
And I was watching a YouTuber called The Double Agent talk about the worst songs of like 2019. And he was just like, you realize you're playing the wrong chords, right? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, they know that thing. And it's fine if I was just like, hey, yo, BG, listen to this song. The violins sound pretty hype.
And it'd be... And I'm like, yo, that's hype.
But this month is going the impact and stuff. He sounds like he's saying something, but he's actually not. Band of Misfits. Yes, I like that movie. I saw it in movie theaters. I had a free ticket. But it's the empty platitudes of words. This is impactful. You can feel every blow. When you don't know what you're talking about, I can just be like, the violins go in such harmony with the cello. The orchestra sings, and it's all focused on the violin at this one moment. Sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but with one little push of just like, hey, what's a C chord? I'm like, is that the...
When the dude was coming out with Shinsuke Nakamura, and people were like, what he's doing is like master level with that. I'm like, It just looks like he's playing fast. Like I get it's a really high note, but I don't know what makes it like masterful.
People can like differentiate an amazing 10 out of 10 singer from like an 8 singer.
Yeah.
Where for me, I'm just like, yeah, they both sound very, very good.
Very good. But don't you hear like
The bravado and
they didn't hit that note quite right, and I'm like,
oh, they got
did
perfect
they not?
pitch. And but they sound good. They went, and they did the voice tremble thing. I like that. That's my issue with things like this. This is the dude that's like a 4, where he's just like, he's evidencing things, but he's not really, because he's not saying anything. The impact, this would be perfect for Demon Slayer, because you can feel the impact. As to, what do you mean?
It's going to a court case with like, the blood splatter did this, and you don't have the blood splatter. Like, okay, sure, you can say the blood splatter, and I can know what you're talking about, but without seeing it, you're not really presenting a thing.
What did Gigguk say about Berserk? I'm curious about that, only in as much as I don't like Gigguk's.
Detail, you feel a stronger sense of impact with the blows, perfect for Demon Slayer's streamlined approach where you get to the fights fairly quickly.
Hey, Demon Slayers are not about blows, they're about slashes.
I was about to say that.
So
you don't feel like a No Move versus All Might where they exchange of blows and stuff like that.
How do you have impact with a slash?
Or even something like Jujutsu Kaisen.
Another series where they punch a lot. You have to understand the difference of the fights. Please use a different sword, manga or an anime, so we know the difference. Use Bleach. Use Fate.
Varia says, I am surprised he has not mentioned the line work of the manga, the composition, or even the paneling. Mark would never.
Mark
would always.
Might never. Mark has his moments. We've seen that.
I want Mark Demon Slayer so bad. Not for Revisited. I just want to see how he talks about it.
Which isn't extremely detailed or clean, but the sketchy nature allows for these fights to go even further with its choreography and posing. But Demon...
Posing?!
And you see? What the did he mean there? What did he say?
Okay, what's the difference between these two?
Detirex 525 says, Bleach has magic, Demon Slayer has nothing but air. Neo Arcadia says, Kagura Bachi already does this better.
It's the
best. I'm gonna take your word on that.
Slayer doesn't fulfill either role.
He has shown this panel again.
Yes.
I don't think he read the manga.
You know what? That's a good point. Did he read the manga?
This is all. This is the. Surely.
I'm sure you can Reddit this and find this panel.
You can look up Demon Slayer fight and get a different panel to showcase your point. And if this is your point of it doesn't have weight, and you've got one example, I wouldn't believe you. So don't read Demon Slayer. It doesn't have weight. Look at this. Okay, you got something else? Well, look at this same thing again, but smaller.
I'm guessing he likes emphasis on the shading. In other words, he likes one art style over another. But at the same time, he's talking about the impact, and I need to see those types of things. I'm sure he talked about the sketchy nature of it, whereas Demon Slayer is more simplistic. So I'm sure you're absolutely right in that aspect of it. But he is just not explaining it. You explained it for him.
We would have to extrapolate what he means in this. And how much further we can go with his points, because if you just go, I like the sketchy nature, and that's his point, and then he moves on, we could just go, okay, he likes the sketchy nature because Demon Slayer is a more rough and tumble thing, and it deserves a more hard and fast sketchy line, and then you can just make his point for him that way, where he's not making his point.
Have the detail or polish of, let's say, My Hero.
The same panel.
Sun Can Rock, Berserk, or Kingdom.
Look at these art styles are very intricate, but you're not talking about the battle!
The anime allows for emotional resonance.
Sun Can Rock, Berserk, or Kingdom.
Oh, hell no. That went way too fast.
Berserk, or Kingdom.
Look at these
Yeah, that's
compared to Tanjiro just swinging a sword in a whatever village.
and I would compare that top one to the number one demon, the face split down the middle. It is
Which looked fine.
It is a shot of a character in detail looking at the camera. What's the difference between that and this?
Reference 3 other Shonen, there you go.
Why is this one? Dang it! Why is I thought it was gonna be the other way. Why is this one like? Oh, this deserves this type of art style belongs in Demon Slayer, and not? I don't know what you mean.
Nor does it have the raw energy of a Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Bleach, or Black Clover.
Based on what?
Raw energy. What's happening on the left?
I couldn't tell you.
You read the mouth.
What's the raw energy in that Ichigo Byakuya? What is it? What's the raw energy? And you're just showing a very nice art drawing of Asta. But what does this mean about raw energy? Are you telling me Demon Slayer has literally nothing like that Asta moment? Literally nothing.
There's nothing where you can say, yeah, I can feel the raw energy of this. Okay.
But here's the thing.
We're halfway over.
What? How?
Another series came out of the blue that had a similar circumstance, at least in my eyes. Record of Ragnarok. Please note that I have not read Record of Ragnarok.
How do you know this?
UC says,
But if he starts,
Demon Slayer fans, give me your energy.
That raw energy.
but if he starts talking about things that happen in the manga and the differences, it leads credence to he did not read the Demon Slayer manga. He's just getting references from other places.
Banned. Gone. Forever.
BG, you said Viral Hit is finished, and I was wondering where you read it, as the ending is on Webtoon, but for Fast Path, places. I've always mentioned Manga for Life. It's one of the best sites for illicit activities.
As of this recording, correct any errors I make about it, but as far as I'm concerned, it is a simple tournament-style manga where gods and historical figures duke it out in these amazing illustrations coupled with backstories. Simple, amazing fights, backstories.
Hey,
And I'm wondering, did he watch it? Because he said he hasn't read it. So if he's just hearing secondhand, how do you know how simple it is? How do you know how great the fights are?
but didn't people hate the animation because there were times where it looked
is
really
that the
ugly?
slideshow one?
Yeah, I think that was one of the slideshow ones. Yeah, it absolutely was the slideshow one.
Unless he's going to talk about that.
So this would legit lead credence to Demon Slayer being carried by animation, because Demon Slayer does not have these things, and yet clap.
And yet,
No, he did.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
people seem to love Record of Ragnarok because of this.
Pause! How do you know it's because of that? How do you know it's not? Demon Slayer has these issues that don't make sense, and Record of Ragnarok.
Because
I'm
of
sorry,
this.
I just needed that. Yeah.
Record of Ragnarok is so simple that there is no why don't they just use Wisteria and stuff like that. It is just, oh, here's Attila Hun fighting Abe Lincoln. And then you just see them fight.
Wow, I'm late, but I got all the info I need from. I did not read this, but I'll compare it anyway.
The Almighty
It's
Hugh Hansen says,
crazy!
just look up the Adam vs. Zeus fight. The slideshow was so ass.
There you go. It was the slideshow
Okay.
anime.
I thought so. Research one stat that sounds like it takes too much time. Crazy how he would bring it up and go, yeah, but I don't.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
But I'm just gonna use this to prove my point
Without researching it.
without knowing. So if somebody comes in your comments like, well, that's not right about Record of Ragnarok, you have no defense. People love it because of blah 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 blah. It's not just because of you got nothing. Is seen as, what was it?
Oh, sorry. Because that's the whole reason I paused it.
To love Record of Ragnarok because of this.
Despite the fact that Record of Ragnarok story is seen as bad, but people don't
Dutch
care as much
says,
for some reason.
Hey guys, what did I miss? I was out with friends on this day for obvious reasons _ demon time.
Stop coming to these.
Animation. Animation thumbs up. Manga thumbs down.
I don't think people care as much because it doesn't have nearly as many fans. When you have more fans, you have more people scrutinizing the thing. I don't think people would care as much if Cameron put out a bad record as Drake putting out a bad record, because they are simply not in the same place in the zeitgeist of the mainstream media.
So you like
Dutch wants a bingo card.
Got it. He's researched that people like it. He researched why people like it. But for some reason, the research stops at the story is bad, but people don't seem to care for some reason.
It's seen as bad. Do you believe who sees the story as bad?
And for what reason? You can't put, I've researched why people care about this, but I don't know why they don't like the story. Surely. You can't be like, the research ends at, they don't, what? I got you, Dutch. I've lost count of the numbers, but I'll just give
I think it's 12. You're at.
I'm gonna go with 12.
The Ragnarok.
Oh,
Something like
yes.
that. That's only like 30 chapters old, but my god, it is fucking great.
He sucks! 30 chapters in! My god, it's great! He sucks!
I don't know why anybody would listen to Giggux or literally anything. This man can be like, let me tell you my life story. I'm an expert in this. I would not believe him.
I don't believe that happened, Giga.
I don't trust you. I have two eyes.
I was born a boy. No.
I got 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Prove it.
I have black hair. It looks kind of charcoal to me. There's been no okie dokes.
Fool this man!
Agreed.
Corey wants a bingo card.
Good luck.
Oh, that sounds pretty fucking cool.
No, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, like even compared.
It's cool! It's awesome! Wow!
And I am using this to prove my point.
And now he's gonna do the Demon Slayer one from these legit terrible analysts!
They have evidenced nothing. They have said nothing but cool auga, and he's just like, see? My point!
And on top of that, it feels like 30 chapters of Record of Ragnarok, whereas opposed to this, they're about to start talking about the latest season of Demon Slayer, which people call bad!
I can explain why people don't want to look deep into anime and Jen really want to get into good shows, so watching people having seen many shows makes them think they know what they are talking about.
And they don't.
Dutch says, Giguk Soud Mob Psycho 1 PP didn't need season 3. That man is insane. That final season was great with loads character payoffs.
That's why I say don't listen to Giggux about anything.
I've been reading Mob, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yep. It's pretty good.
Okay then.
It's not that super top tier. I think a lot of people elevate it because of the animation, but it's a pretty good story. Some of the comedy I'm not with though. So this is very unfair because the latest season of Demon Slayer is one that a lot of people mark as a negative. But if you go back to season 2, Gigguk is just like, how can this be mid? Look at it. This man was riding the train. So now if he's talking about it, oh, this previous season, oh, Demon Slayer is kind of mid.
And let's hear what they say about this.
Comparing it to like other anime or other shonen, it's just it's good. It's
I don't even think it's like my top 3 shonen.
oh, it's definitely not in my top 3 shonen. It's not.
Now, obviously,
Pause. What have they seen? Why is it not in their top 3 shonen? What do they like about Record of Ragnarok? Tell me anything other than those 4 sentences that you show to prove some kind of point, which you didn't.
Wow, Demon Slayer didn't get them ass hype. They just went, oh, it's good. As opposed to it's amazing. Yo, this is terrible. There's 5 minutes left.
You see a mid YouTuber with mid opinions validated my argument. That's all it was. People ain't bumping Demon Slayer like that, but Record of this is very I don't know what to classify this as, because they see that I need to evidence things. So I'm gonna show this manga slash and be like, look at it. There's no weight to it. What the f do you mean? Moving on. Oh, people bumping Record of Ragnarok. I bump Record of Ragnarok. Moving on. Like,
This is an absolute, since Record of Ragnarok is far less popular than Demon Slayer, meaning it's gonna get a lot less hate.
Yep.
And they probably do things differently, of course, like maybe the backstories and
Like
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
I
Maybe
don't
they
know.
do things different. Yeah, it must be liked for a different reason. They probably do things differently, and it's probably better or worse, or who knows. But my point is made.
It's
so
definitely a
moving on.
thing.
I'm
Record
right.
of Ragnarok are handled better than in Demon Slayer, for example. There are many different factors
Or that at the end of the day, it's different people saying what's good or whatever.
at play. But I guess when we look at it at kind of a surface level, isn't it kind of weird that the big anime buffs, or dare I say, elitists, will praise Record of Ragnarok for being hype and having awesome...
You
they-
think of all people, trash takes is elitist. You think of
normie
all the mothers in the world.
You're showing some random buff in MyAnimeLists people. What elitists are you talking about? Where? Who? This doesn't prove your point. You just labeled them elitists.
fights, but kind of downplay Demon Slayer for doing sort of the same thing. And then you look at Vagabond and One
What are
Punch
those sort of the same
Look down
things,
upon this
person
man.
who has
Spit
not
on him.
read
He's
Record
on.
of Ragnarok?
Pizza
What
Steak
are
says,
those same
DA,
things?
do you love kids or do you want all kids to be tortured to death?
I will not
No
answer
comment, Nina
that.
First is true, got it.
I can't answer that, cause you.
Why is my sound player not playing all of my sounds?
Man, trying to get a bingo out of me.
Trying to manipulate the bingo.
Man. Now these are series that have way more depth than I'm going to get into today, nor can I. What I'm about to say does not represent them as a whole. But the point of discussion that always comes back to these series, the first thing I've ever heard from these series, the main selling point of these
can't
series
do
to
this.
get people to read them is the artwork.
No, I read One Punch Man because it was in the zeitgeist, and it's fine. It's very fine. Like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. Who cares how these people got into it? The problem isn't that people are getting into Demon Slayer because of the visuals. It's that they love it strictly based on the visuals. I was just not reading all my files. That's so crazy.
Whatever amazing things you want to say about them, Vagabond and One Punch Man are best known for their artwork. I really do think that...
Cotton Candy Hope says, funny cuss when I heard about Vagabond from One Wooly versus he mentioned the art last.
that if Demon Slayer had artwork on par with something like
He's talking about manga. How am I supposed to get a bingo with this?
Record of Ragnarok, or even something like Sun Can Rock, it would have so much more respect from anime veterans.
No, you're just saying it doesn't look as pretty as these other ones, so it doesn't get its respect. Okay, even if people first talk about the art of those things, are the stories good? Which you noted that Demon Slayer is not very good.
Because now you can't complain because they're both so damn pretty. I mean, I can't be too hard on them. Demon Slayer is a pretty difficult series to rank. You can tell a lot of people don't want to give Demon Slayer too much credit for not being too unique and not...
No, I don't care about those people.
Yeah.
What is your argument?
Because there's so many different people saying so many different things. We're not here for what? An amalgamation of a bunch of nameless, faceless people. Say what you think.
having the most amazing story in the world. But the animation is just so good, man. It's got the art
Dutch
direction,
says, Demon Slayer is a shiny piece of shit while Berserk is a statue. They are not the same.
They're the exact same.
No, it's easy to rank. It's bad then. No, it's not. Demon Slayer is a 3 or 4 out of 10.
sound design, the way it sets the moods for certain scenes, it's got the fun characters and the emotional moments, it's got heart. But for some people, it's got some other problems. Thoughts on?
But for some people, it's got some other problems. I don't care about.
Leo Luster
I
says,
love how he was
I
just
think
like,
this guy doesn't understand the argument. Maybe.
100%.
I love how it's just like, it's got all these things, it's got all these things, and people say
And
it's
some
got
people
some
think
problems.
these things.
What were the problems?
But for some people, it's got some other problem.
Pacing isn't the best. How's that possible when
What
you
the
just said it gets straight to the point? Formulaic, I don't care about that part. Backstory's going on for too long. No, there's too many for characters that are dying we will never see again. Zenitsu is
Erase that kinda, homie.
Zenitsu is kinda annoying. No, he's just annoying.
That's doing all
Literally,
the heavy
Pokemon
lifting.
has a better written power system than Demon Slayer. That's horrid.
It's explained enough.
Why does he keep bringing up Nux? Because Nux makes his point. Nux clapped for pretty.
It's an easy person to point at and just go, this person thinks this.
Thoughts on Demon Slayer online have been so divisive, and every side has demonstrated a good level of detail and merit.
No! The positive side has not, as you have not!
Gigux just went, look at it.
How can you call this mid? He literally said that.
Critical just went, it tickles your balls with a feather duster, and he goes on with this ball analogy for 15 minutes, 3 times in the video, and then ends it.
Honestly, you can give Demon Slayer any one of these rankings and make a pretty interesting argument.
Yeah, because everybody has their own opinion.
While you thought you were safe, I laid a trap. If you refuse to answer, I told you that would mean that the first answer is true. Now give me my 445.
No.
Hope says,
doesn't work like that.
3 problems? What about the reincarnation of Nezuko and Tanny being set up to bang?
Moving forward.
For all of them. But at the end of the day, we simply don't live in a world where, let's say, Studio Dean gives it the 7 Deadly Sins treatment. It's animated by Ufotable, and now it's the best it can ever be. All I'm trying to say is that Demon Slayer is really pretty, and I don't think there's anything wrong with liking it because it's pretty. So
no, but you shouldn't call it good because it's pretty. Liking and good are 2 different things.
When I say it's bad and then people say it's good because animation is within the top 3 things that they say is good about it, that's the problem.
And if they go characters, I say what's good about the characters. Oh, I like Rengoku. I like that he blew. I like Tanjiro. I like that. No.
how about this? Let's do a little thought experiment, okay? Now, this idea would most likely be a really extreme change for Demon Slayer, and it'd be hard to account for everything because of how much
Leo
information
Luster
there is.
says, you don't show nuts when saying good and describing unless you put not before good. Guy is bum overlord. Adrian Rusco says, there is not a lot to like aside from it being pretty.
Yeah, there's just really not.
Just to know in Demon Slayer, but shh, don't worry about the plot holes, just think. Okay, so let's take Demon Slayer. Keep the characters the same general story beats, same general production, same general product, right? But make it a silent animation. Let me explain. So media buffs, elitists.
That doesn't work because it, on top of being a visual medium, it needs the information. It would need to be an entirely different story to convey.
Yes.
Because if everything is silent, it needs to be reworked in a way where you can convey the emotions of what's going on.
You can tell what's being told.
Because the Rui fight is very heavy thematically about family. How do we get the information that they are not really family, and that's what Rui covets, if not for us getting that information? It would need to be conveyed visually without any auditory input. It can't be done strictly based on what it is now. It would need to be a completely different story.
So whatever you want to call them, really love artsy media, right? And a type of artsy media is silent films, not those
Cotton
silent
Candy
films.
Hope
Okay.
says, how the fuck would I know all 489 things the poison does to Muzan without being told?
They just have a big list for 3 pages.
I mean the ones with little to no dialogue, and while there might be a hidden...
And I love those!
Obvious reasons. Obvious reasons.
Demon Slayer fanbase refused to read the manga because of the animation. Thank you for the super chat, Isaiah. Absolutely. There are legit people that are going, I'm waiting for the anime.
Reasons.
I'm waiting for the anime.
2 times?
Meaning behind
people, and that's the worst part, because you clearly don't care about it. You're interested in it. purely because of the animation. Or animation is, again, one of the top 3 things, and you don't care enough to read and engage and going, boy, I hope Inosuke lives. I'll have to wait 3 years to figure that out.
Product, the cinematography and effects take center stage in terms of enjoyment. I'm not saying this change is going to fix every one of Demon Slayer's issues, but what you must know is that critics eat that shit for breakfast.
Yes, they're good.
And these things are made in the medium for it to be a silent thing.
Yes.
Like you said, it would have to be completely reworked. And at that point, it does become a different cinematic experience because you need those visuals to convey it. And therefore, the visuals are important in that aspect. But here, they aren't. So you can't just be like, well, if you take it away and then all of a sudden critics are going to know. The story is being told here through the visuals, and it's an even more simple story, assumedly, that it can
Swan
be
Explains
told
Comics
without
says,
visual.
favorite Guilty Gear character mind is Miller Rage.
I love Milia, but it's Chip.
I think that one of the most unique characters of all time is the not the pinball, the pool man.
Venom.
I love him. He's great. I'm terrible with him.
There are stories that use a lot of visual storytelling, like Samurai Jack and Freinen. I never.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
But those are just different ways to tell a story. But haven't you seen episode 19? Nezuko doesn't talk, so her character is perfectly conveyed through the series. Oh wait, it is. She's a dog.
She's a dog.
Can't call yourself a fan if you aren't buying the books. A coworker gave me an ugly look because I said I wanted to read the manga before watching the anime, and that's legitimately what it is. Legitimately.
Hate to see it.
Just like, why would you read the manga when we got this anime? Axel's cool.
They eat that shit like Hot Pockets. So take Demon Slayer and remove...
Okay. You say the critics eat that like Hot Pockets. The fans also enjoy it. It's not as highly rated, but the fans do enjoy it. You're conflating like the quality based on critiquing with how much you're gonna personally clap for a thing. Who cares? You're basically telling anime analysts act like the movie critics.
And do they like it because it's silent, or do they like it because of the way the story is told, the fact that the story is good? What do they like about it? It can't just be that it's silent.
So take Demon Slayer and remove most of the dialogue, so now the animation works
Pizza
even
Stick
harder
says,
to
4,000.
show the characters emoting and communicate vital information in a more subtle way. You know, show don't...
But it's not subtle anymore, because the way it's conveyed right now has to be outright told. We would need a completely different story if it was silent.
You say keep the plot beats the same and everything, but make it more subtle, then you can't. Both those things cannot happen.
Cotton Candy Hope says, me watching Silent Demon Slayer. Did Inosuke get poisoned by demon poison? How is he okay? Me watching Spoken Demon Slayer, I'm a rock mountain boy. Oh good, now this scene is better.
Yeah, I get it. Oh no. Uh-oh.
I like to think this version would also help with the pacing of Demon Slayer a little bit, since there's not as much
I do
dialogue.
not care about your silent movie fan fiction about how it will improve Demon Slayer or not. I do not care. Especially considering you're not going to explain yourself.
What's the point he's trying to convey here?
I don't know.
So less time is spent entirely on backstories and downtime when they aren't fighting the demons. It would kind of
Wouldn't
make
more
things...
time have to be spent on backstory to properly convey what it means?
I think he's really just saying, hey, let's just make it the fights. Let's just get to the fights as quickly as possible.
Move a little bit quicker, you know, a bit more efficient. Take away...
That's what I want from my story. Efficiency.
So make the stick fight.
I don't think this guy understands the quality of silent film. No, it's just like with Record of Ragnarok. He's just going this good because of this.
Show don't tell. Characters are legit talking about how kind Kanjiro is.
Legitimately!
Says, rewatching Fairy Tail with my friend and maybe Rock City Boy isn't that bad.
Yeah, okay.
You know what time it is.
Yeah, Okay. Enjoy your time.
The source material. This is an anime-only series, so now they can't rip on the source material.
Pause. And now you also have to add in. So you gotta restructure the story, take away the dialogue, make it more efficient, and take away the manga so people can't compare it. Then you're like, well, how do you feel now? It is
Star
cinema
Wars.
wins. Think about it. Pretend that you like it, and don't you like it now? Pretend it's what you wanted, and what do you think now? It's like, well, yeah, I have to assume it's what I wanted.
And they can go only off of the anime. And even though Demon Slayer already has a very distinguished look to its characters, just for good measure, let's give this version a bit of a minimalist art style, akin to something like Samurai Jack. You know, it gives it a very unique look that catches their attention, as it looks very different from your average anime. A silent, minimalist, action anime only series. With this change, what do you think would be the reception of Demon Slayer?
I could not tell you.
For obvious reasons.
Thank you. Because I don't know what you want. I don't know what the people want. I don't know how it would be conveyed differently. I don't know, and I don't care, because I can't look into that universe. I can look into
Cotton
this
Candy Hope
universe.
says, this man wants me to go over 4 parallel universes and direct this show.
Shit!
How does he not get that as a problem?
That's not even a Demon Slayer.
Let me know.
That's a Hall of Fame.
Man, it's not fair.
That's a Hall of Fame, boy.
It's not fair.
That's an HOF, because that was really bad.
That was quite bad. I thought that somebody would have gotten a bingo by now. Like, I made these a little too easy. So I threw in a couple that was just like, oh, this is going to spice it up a bit.
Nope. I think this guy just wants to watch Samurai Jack. So, with the whole reworking the thing, we've seen anime.
He Hungers for Host says, I like to call this dopamine reconciliation. They're so hyped from the dopamine that the pretty fights give that they make up all this post hoc rationalization.
Oh, absolutely.
To defend it. The almighty Jew Hansen says, the funny thing about the changes he talks about is he is just creating an outcome that he thinks fixes Demon Slayer without knowing that it's just a bad series.
And that's the crazy part, because he's going, hey, take away all this stuff, just make it a visual medium, there's no other story, just rework
Adrian
everything.
Rusko says, that's it, he didn't say anything.
Just rework everything. Do you think it would still be popular? There's no way to gauge how a thing will become popular. Otherwise, everyone would just create the thing that's going to be popular. We would have 1 billion YouTubers with 100 million subscribers if people just knew how to become popular, what makes a thing popular, what's going to catch popularity.
And you would get those people just going, hey, watch this. It's stunning and brave. It's completely silent. And it's beautiful.
And now we have why Demon Slayer stands out from all other shonen by Laraze HD. We did a video on him once about Demon Slayer.
Did we?
Yep. For Demon Slayer much.
Remember.
Yep.
Maybe if I went through it. There is no description, boys.
There is no description, boys.
It just says Demon Slayer moment. I don't know what that means, but whatever.
Samurai Jack is not minimalist. It's just the character design is different. Hate to break it to this guy, but season 5 of Samurai Jack sucked at least half of it, unless you're Mr. Beast. No, there's no reset for the new video.
Yeah, keep the same thing, because ain't nobody win. Keep it going.
Oh, let me turn this down.
I'm sure some people are 1 or 2 away.
Whether you want to accept it or not, Demon Slayer, despite being as popular as it is nothing we haven't seen before.
Ashita no Joe, Og Hajime no Ippo Akatsuki no Yona good story
Hey.
slow start X-Blade. Sometimes you need fun shonen trash. Also damn Demon Slayer is more generic than the most basic manga.
Absolutely. Everyone knows Ashita no Joe. The problem is knowing the ending kind of hurts it.
And I'm kind of afraid to go to another boxing manga.
After Ippo. Ippo needs to be over before.
Yes.
These are all the same video.
It's almost like we never left.
A teenage boy gets his family killed aside from his sister, who becomes a demon, where then he sets off on a journey to try to get her back from being human. Also, while wanting to get revenge and rid the world of demons, so he becomes a demon slayer. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that some 5th grader who loved Shonen wrote this down in his notebook during math class. Point is, anyone can have an idea, but it's how that idea is executed that makes stories shine. And despite Demon Slayer not tackling the same complex topics as other highly acclaimed anime, that doesn't inherently make it worse. Because when it comes to execution, it's among the top of shonen.
Simple but perfect.
I was with you for 40 seconds, and now we're about to get hit with the bush.
It does its 5 out of 10 as a 10 out of 10. And that's all it ever tries to be.
Demon Slayer does what most shonen that attempt to create complex storylines or concepts fail to do. Consistency, directness, no overcomplicated garbage just for the sake of it, and
Directness? It's almost like efficiency, huh?
It's efficient and simple.
No over. What were the 3 things? Consistency. Okay, consistency. How does one gain a demon art? Can it only be one? Can you alter that demon art in any way? Can it grow from the initial thing?
The only way to kill a demon is to cut off his head, unless you poison it. That also works, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's fine as well. Here, these things make a nichiri. These nichiri ores make a sword, unless you want a gun or a chain and sickle. You can also have that. That wasn't an option when Tanjiro was given the thing. No, it wasn't.
Oh, the black sword? That spells a certain thing, but not really.
Concepts fail to do. Consistency, directness, no overcomplicated garbage just for the sake of it. And
are you going to mention the overcomplicated garbage for the sake of it?
Yeah, what is the overcomplicated garbage in other shonen? Because these 3 things must be present in other shonen.
And I know, usually when I hear people say that, I tend to think they just didn't bother to understand it, so they're just writing it off as overcomplicated, but that's not the case, so let me give you some examples. Demon Slayer's storyline is exactly what it sells itself as. You know what you're getting yourself into. There's a clear established goal, and every scene in the story is taking us one step further to attaining that goal.
How did the entertainment district do that?
Yeah, how did Zenitsu fighting the spiders do that?
Because the entertainment district was a side arc that had nothing to do with trying to turn Nezuko back into a human.
Homeboy really just went, I need people.
And y'all happen to be
Travin
here.
Armstrong says, Shinobu just standing there with wisteria poison while other slayers getting murked because they didn't use wisteria.
That's consistent with the story.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons.
You don't understand how many times a clear storyline will be established at first and then go off into all these different directions that may take us down other roads that may be interesting. That's always possible, but not likely. And it tends to be...
You don't know how many times this happened. Like in Hunter x Hunter and others. But can you say that everything that happens in Hunter x Hunter furthers Gon's willingness to be a hunter or want to be a hunter?
Find his father.
Yeah. His growth to become a hunter. He grows as a hunter. He's closer to finding his father because he has more abilities to go around the world. He has more access. He has more strength when people come up and try to challenge him or when he has to go out and do a job. Couldn't you say that?
Most of the time when reading or watching a story, that having 1 or 2 goals set at the beginning and watching the characters stay true to that seems to be more enjoyable. For example, in Hunter x Hunter, an extremely popular and loved anime, the story starts off with the clear goals being Gon wants to find his dad, Killua is looking to find purpose in life and joins Gon on his journey, growing their friendship, Kurapika seeks vengeance for his clan, and Leorio wants money in addition to becoming a doctor. But for some reason, after 186 chapters of following those storylines, the story takes a 132 chapter long detour in the Chimera Ant arc, which had nothing to do with any of the established goals thus far.
Efficiency.
Kite knew Gon's father, and Gon thought he could learn about his father from Kite.
Killua learned more about Gon and his willingness to do things that he would not do otherwise. And he sees the darkness within Gon and reflects on that darkness within himself and how much he's changed.
The other two mothers weren't there because they were doing their own goal.
This is, at the end of the day, the Gon story.
Nightfall says, sometimes I wonder, what does Demon Slayer do to people? Do they think telling a simple story means it gets a pass on being horribly told?
I don't
They
know.
think simple is that shield that just goes simple. And then you just move on.
Yeah, I understand. They're deflecting legitimate criticisms with the wide known accepted criticism.
Yeah, the
It's
Brain
simple.
Beetle as well.
Yeah. Does this count as other shonen do this but Demon Slayer though? No. Yes, it would. The consistency part, yes, it would. Consistent sun breathing is genetic, but no, interpret as dance and teach the firstborn son. Water breathing is basic, yet many can't do it. But that's...
Yeah, it's the easiest one to learn, but nobody's taking the step. Like, one of the forms is just steps. Nobody does that.
And don't confuse me for saying this arc was bad, but I truly believe it belonged in an entirely new story that Togashi should have wrote.
Why?
If you
why
look
do stories have to just be point A to point B with
Get to
no
the goal.
deviation?
everything that has come before in the story, it simply didn't fit in with any of the established storylines aside from demonstrate.
How did Entertainment District
Being the shifting dynamic of Gon and Killua, which even that could have been executed in a fashion that lined up with the already put into place storylines. The Chimera Ant arc was an entire new story, and that's something that the simplicity of Demon Slayer doesn't suffer from at all. And I want to try my best to not.
But then it also goes into Kurapika's story, because the ants were over from the Dark Continent, if I'm not mistaken, and then he goes over there, and that's the introduction of his furthering of his clan's revenge and all that.
Bring another story down while praising another one, but I need to bring up certain examples to illustrate my point.
That's one example,
Dutch
but it's
says,
not a very good example.
Why is that baddie Ruma had the Evidal games, which had nothing to do with the main plot, and it's good?
He is an efficiency man.
Yes.
That
Get
is-
to
that's-
it as quickly as possible.
No
deviations.
deviations. Straight line.
There's a clear reason why establishing a goal that a character wants to obtain at the beginning of a story works better, because when that character finds
No, because you can set up a goal in the middle of a story, just go along with the journey of the protagonist, have them learn what the world is about, and then find their purpose and meaning and goal in life. There's no issue with that as well.
reaches that desire of theirs, the payoff for the reader is far more satisfying because we've seen the character go through the long journey from beginning to end to just get this one goal. Without this, it's like watching an underdog story without seeing the training arc of the underdog going through all the trials and tribulations to...
No, because in the Rocky films, he gets his goal sometimes halfway through the story. When somebody else died, when someone calls him out, it doesn't necessarily... action films a lot of times will have 20 to 30 minutes of just sitting around being a family so you can connect when the family gets kidnapped. They don't get their goal until 2/3 of the story in.
Harboderman says, building characters and learning about them is inefficient so bad, said no one ever.
Said this
Cotton
guy
Candy
now.
Hope says, efficiency man, take me by the hand, lead me to the catalysts and straight to the end.
get to the stage where he's at, where then he can overcome his final opponent after all that hard work.
When did he learn about the final opponent? When did he get that goal? Was it as soon as possible? Like 20, 30 minutes into this 90-minute movie?
Says, does this guy like stories or Wikipedia synopsis?
But if we don't see all that hard work that went into it, it's nowhere near as satisfying. And
You're conflating two different points. Your point was it's good to get the goal early so we can see the journey. And now you're going, it'd be like if we took the journey out. Do you understand why that would be bad? They're two different things. You're not,
Gaming
you should be
and Beerage
explaining
says,
a mid.
life is a journey, not just a straight road.
No, it is a straight line. Whatever you do in your life must only facilitate that. You can't do things that you have enjoyment for. If you're not hungry, you don't eat. You only must have your recommended 2,000 calories with 8 servings of grain, 2 of dairy, whatever that pyramid is. What lame always just going, I've only had 1 serving of fruit today. This shan't stand.
What were they?
It's almost midnight. New day is coming.
Mayhaps an orange.
Will this suffice? Pyramid God, please tell me. But this would be like if Harold and Kumar got there. We want to go to White Castle 2 minutes in, and then 5 minutes later they were there. Like, no, they got that later. It's
Leo
fine
Lester
to get
says,
later.
His goal was to lay down that pipe on the autistic pet sock worker.
Usually, the main critique of stories like Demon Slayer is that although they are consistent and direct, they tend to be boring, especially to experienced anime watchers who are looking for stories that tackle much more complex topics.
This is the second two videos in a row about 2 totally different topics, both talking about this complex and simplicity.
One video.
Book. There was only ever one video, one content creator, y'all.
My favorite genre is slice of life. It is the most simplistic thing
with no goals.
That's it. I don't care. If I may talk about Sket Dance for a second,
Corey,
the main character is I want to help people because I want to help people. That's it. He got a backstory, but his backstory is essentially, hey, helping people is good.
Axel Gray says, 8-hour drive, no pit stops.
Straight line. If you can make it there by cutting through a forest, you cut through that forest to get there faster.
It's not unique, and that's fine. Demon Slayer.
Wodakoi has no real goal, but it's real good.
I don't care about people having goals. My thing about Ichigo is not that he doesn't have a goal. I don't care about simple versus complex stories. I don't care that Demon Slayer's story is complex and that's why it's bad. I do not give a I don't care. Attack on Titan has these big geopolitical. They're fighting for the king is there and he has all the power and the walls and all. I don't care about that. Make it good, and that's all I care about. Simple does not enter my mind when I'm just going, this story is this. Because we talk about it a lot. One Piece is go to the island, fight person, free island,
drop phone.
Drop phone, that's always in there. But that does not factor into that.
Read a book, you fin nerd. Yes, this does count as different. And like going off topic, no. It's still part of the topic. Complexity, simplicity, none of that matters to me. Just want a well-told story. Is that so hard to ask for? We never left. This has to be a conspiracy. Why can't we leave?
If these essayists care so much about efficiency, why don't they watch recap videos on YouTube then? They're more efficient than watch the actual thing.
Why are they watching the anime?
Yeah.
Why not be the most efficient thing and make a tweet of your script?
And I have to admit that is a fair critique, even though I personally feel like there's always room for a kind of show where you can sit back and relax without having to think too much, with that being the main appeal of it. But aside from that, my point is that just because a story covers more complex concepts than another, it doesn't
says, I don't care if Frieren is complex because Frieren is just so good and the simplicity is never in my mind for talking about why I love Frieren.
And that's all it should be.
It's good because it's good. Not because it's simple, not because it's complex, not because it's this, that, or the third. It is good for good. Bingo is single and nuts. Just pray that you piece of rabbit for it.
Automatically make it better. There's plenty of shows that cover more serious and difficult topics, but don't execute them that well or overcomplicate them. Which, in the event of that, Demon Slayer I would much rather watch than a show that has more interesting topics, but worse execution.
Like and how?
So far in the anime, so that I don't spoil anyone, in the first season, the importance of family and what it means to have a true bond with someone was explored with Tanjiro versus Rui, not even mentioning the beautiful animation, of course. Then in the movie, the importance and responsibility of protecting the next generation with Kyojuro versus Akaza, and finally, in the second season, the realization of how your environment is truly the factor that creates who you are, and Tanjiro realizing that with one bad stroke of luck, he could have found himself in the exact same situation as Gyutaro and Daki. But
we've got a bunch of bingos.
And how does that change you, Tanjiro? What changes about Tanjiro knowing that he could have been a demon? How does that? Where's
Cotton
the
Candy Hope
execution
says,
go?
Bingo.
Oh, everybody at the same time! My goodness!
Hope said it first, so we've got Hope, and then Pizza Steak, and then just those two.
Pop them in the bingo
and keep talking.
If you have them, keep talking. You did not get a bingo.
He did not get a card.
Yeah,
might be in a Discord.
No, well, yeah, they might be somebody in Discord.
Yeah,
I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
could be. But I marked who had a bingo.
Okay, thank you, BG. Recently started reading Viral Hit, and Toon is my favorite character. I just started reading he's so f***ing good. So f***ing good. God, I miss Viral Hit.
Still, despite having that realization and being able to empathize with the villain, having the strength and maturity
I thought I got
to
away
finish
with
the
it.
job for the greater good.
The
Yes,
bingo.
these are topics that have been covered before, but making it palatable to a larger audience like how Demon Slayer does is the best part about it. And
No. It's how you're saying that it's palatable to a larger audience. It's popular. So that's why it's to a larger audience. So you can't just be like, you can't use that as a point of praise. It's already happened by the time it's popular. So you can't be like, oh, it's giving it to a larger audience. The audience has already experienced it. So it's not a good thing that it's popular because it gave a lot of people the experience of having it. That's not how this works.
Yes, Isaiah. Demon Slayer bingo for channel points. And people want it bad.
But it looks like
all
it's
comes
done.
Who got it? It's 3 places, so we need 1, 2, and 3. Does this count as popular equals good?
I don't know.
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't
that.
say it, so.
down to its simple, clear, and direct execution. A rarity in shows, let alone anime and manga.
What is complicated about Naruto? It's a rarity, by the way.
Extremely straightforward.
What is complicated about My Hero Academia, Black Clover,
Hi Zaldonic says,
Yu Yu Hakusho?
should I have said bingo in the chat?
Yes, you need to say either bingo in the chat or bingo in the Discord.
somehow to let us know.
Yeah, we're not muttering it. I can't mind read. I don't know. Okay, so when did Hope say bingo? And that will let us know.
Keep talking, I got you.
Does it say it automatically when it's updated or something? Or
no, keep talking once a bingo.
Oh, okay. Yep. I do not have it where it shows the time.
That's fine. We can look back at that later.
Okay. No, I just need the timestamps for the channel point. There we go. Hope called bingo at 4:34, so Hope would be first. So Hope, did you get a bingo?
Themes: popular equals good, scam, claims with no evidence, mentions 3 other shonen.
Where's the line?
Straight down.
How's that bingo?
Isn't that bingo?
No, it's left to right. BINGO.
I thought it was.
Yeah. It would be diagonal. Oops, my bad. Diagonal or across.
I thought it was any line.
No, because then
Have I been playing bingo wrong my whole life?
Yeah, I think you're misrepresenting how to play bingo.
Well, we can talk about that later. Look.
Okay,
no
no.
bingo patterning. The wall's an arrow, man.
Yeah,
we can talk about this later.
Yeah, people will get channel points eventually.
We're almost done.
Every scene and every chapter.
Oops. Everything just went bad there.
I trust WikiHow. It goes lines across, lines diagonal, lines down.
Okay. Everything just went bad. Because this was knocked out.
Oh my goodness.
And then I made a mistake and hit stop instead of pause. So where were we? Oh, we were close to here. Yep. Yep, that was about where we were.
Best part about it.
Nope, still nothing. Maybe. Oh, it's knocked out.
We're falling apart.
And it all comes down to its simple, clear, and direct execution. A rarity in shows, let alone anime and manga. Every scene...
Wait, shows? Sorry, Monk is not complicated. Psych is not complicated. Law and Order is not complicated.
Every chapter or episode is...
Potentially, it looks like Hope One. It looks like Hope One... Hope 1, and then High, you would be number 2, and then we would need number 3.
Always taking us one step forward to that goal, which is something that I don't think is appreciated enough when people are talking about Demon Slayer. There's little to none wasted time at all, even down to the power system in Demon Slayer.
Efficiency, no filler, straight to the point.
What about the power system? Because it's not explained.
Exactly what it needs to do and not overcomplicating anything.
Yeah, it does what it needs to do and doesn't overcomplicate things.
It does what it needs to do by being a power system.
Still being entertaining.
Entertaining!
You can showcase this, but how does sound branch off from thunder?
I can understand that one. Thunder creates sound.
But...
Sure, I will allow that. I will allow that.
Wind and Beast.
Wind and Beast is nonsense.
But it's
Flame and Love is nonsense.
You say it's not complicated, but half the people, including myself for the longest time, didn't know that the elements weren't there.
Carlo, let's see that bingo.
It's in the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, we can look at it.
Having different breath styles for each element, as well as more unique ones to spice it up, with some being individual to each character, and using the appropriate effects for
but
each.
Then we have to ask, how do you make a form? We don't know. You say it's straightforward, love branches off from flame, but how? What aspects of flame is being taken over into love? What was dropped in favor of what came with the love?
Sword style to make the story more entertaining, because
again he says entertaining, and what it seems like is I am just simply more entertained by Demon Slayer. I can turn my brain off and watch the explosions. We always bring it up, but this is such a Transformers mindset of do not worry about anything, just look at what's going on.
Wait, Beast breaks off from wind? Apparently. In what way? I don't know, but it does.
It's not complicated. That's just something the author never stated the story about the effects. The exposition for Breeze, Breaths Are Not Real is in one narration box at the beginning of the manga and never talked about again. The anime says nothing about it. I know it's at the end of one of the volumes where they do their little Q&A. It's just like, are these really happening? It's just like the master would see water flowing, but it's not really happening.
in case you didn't know, the Demon Slayers aren't actually magicians that can summon water or fire out of thin air. Those are just special effects, but I have a whole video explaining that. My point is, though, is that when presented a simple, clear-cut power system in an action shonen, we tend to take it for granted, because, Jesus Christ, there's some overcomplicated systems.
Have you seen something besides Hunter x Hunter?
He just keeps talking about Hunter.
When you look at Bankai, they're pretty simple. I do my sword. I put my sword down, and a bunch of other swords pop up, or a bunch of rose petal comes up and they slice you up. Hey, my sword gets big.
Chakra is very easy to understand. Spirit energy is very easy to understand. Magic in Fairy Tail and Black Clover.
Nin is pretty easy to understand once you get it outside of contracts and stuff like that.
MF Curry says, "Turn off the brain is the most insulting for me consuming fictional media because for animes like Prison School, I don't need to turn off my brain for it."
It's just so
Cotton Candy Hope says,
entertaining.
Special effects, but since mist makes illusions, it's technically real.
He's just
Consistent.
farting.
Consistent. It's not real, but mist makes illusions. Consistency. More than likely, Carlo, we're gonna have to reevaluate all of them. You will get your points even if it's not on stream.
Yeah, we don't want to just sit here and just look at them and just without showing them. It's just not very entertaining. We can talk about that once the video ends and the people who want to drop because we still got a video that we want to talk about.
There for no reason at all too. Again, I'm sorry.
What do you
but-
mean for no reason? What is a reason why you think a power system could be complicated? If you're saying that this is for no reason, what is a good reason for it to be complicated?
For example, Hunter x Hunter. Nen has been referred to as one of the best power systems in all of anime and manga, and I couldn't begin to tell you why. Nen is one of the most ridiculously overcomplicated and overall...
How? It's showing you what it is now. You're born with that affinity. You can spec it to other things, but it won't be as strong. What's the complication there in that aspect of it?
Silly systems you will find. For example, regarding the silly parts, Kurapika, in a mere couple of years of training with Nen, was able to completely outclass one of the strongest members of the world infamous group.
You mean like how Tanjiro in 2 years has now turned the tides for all of Demon Slayers by taking down Upper Moons?
And also he has the clan's eyes, which allows him to use all the Nin types, which gives him quite the advantage.
Sman Explains Comics says, "What are Nen beasts?"
Hey,
I haven't gotten there yet.
Hey, we can't explain.
Again, we could talk about how complicated it gets later. Maybe it's explained well. I don't know personally, because I can't say that, oh, it's bad that Nin beasts are bad or explained poorly or too overcomplicated, because I don't know.
Because looking at it, I could say the same for stands if I don't know what stands do.
It could just be that once your Nin hits a certain level, it creates I don't know what it is. And if that's the case, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
The overflow of it.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I can't say if it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Phantom Troop, simply because his genetics allowed him to get one of the most overpowered buffs in the history of anime.
How's that complicated?
Yeah.
He was born strong because of his eyes. What's the complication?
Same thing with Naruto. Sasuke and the Uchiha get an overpowered buff.
Same thing technically with Tanjiro because he learned the sun breathing.
Yeah.
With Kurapika's Scarlet Eyes, he became a master in every Nen type where normally one can only be efficient in 1 or 2 types, and due to this took down a world-class villain who's been fighting for at least 5 times as long as
Tanjiro in his...
The story of the Demon Slayer can't be longer than 5 years total, and now finally after 100 years, we won. Thank you, Tanny.
Tanjiro took down a demon that's been there for 50 years as his first big battle. One that went, the neck is super strong in this demon because he keeps eating people.
Got the mark.
Yes, that's the big issue. And also, he's not bringing up the fact that he has a chain that can lock them in place.
Which is the real bullshit of it.
It's not just the mastering of Nin and the fact that he beat him. He has an ability that takes away his ability to do anything.
Dragon Ball is very complicated.
T-Rex 525 says, Kurapika got 1 buff with his eyes. Sasuke got like 6+ buffs with his eyes.
It's the worst.
At least 5 times as long as Kurapika. And regarding the overcomplicated parts, there are plenty of times where the character's Nen ability could technically be a part of several different Nen types simultaneously, as a result breaking the system, making it useless to try.
No! Anybody can be efficient. You've already said it! You can be efficient in other ones, just not as much as your main type.
And
so how does it break it?
And showcase what that is. What are you talking about? How is Sanbu Buddhasatsu or whatever that is?
And how is breaking it making it overcomplicated? Those are two different issues.
If he can technically be an emitter as well as technically be whatever another one is. There's so many. I forgot them all. I can't name one of them. I'm a fraud.
Conjurer. I feel like this guy hate other animes for their power system while he likes Demon Slayer and says a simple power system. What the man?
to label an ability a specific Nen type. For example, Netero's 100 type Gyanyin Bodhisattva literally uses emission, manipulation, conjuration, and debatably enhancement and transmutation. But who would ever know for sure? Because
In what
it's not
ways, though? I don't know in what ways he uses those things. He's got a beam, I remember that. But
to making it impossible to follow and understand.
Could it not be that the Buddha itself has these things and he's just conjuring it?
Could it not be a progenitor of a Nin beast? I don't think this is a very good. This isn't. I'm not looking at this as going, this is too complicated because he's an emitter, but he's using transmutation things. I don't understand this.
He really did just want to hate on Hunter x Hunter.
He goes, this is my ability. I go, okay, this is your inability. Oh, he's using an emitter. Okay, yes, he is.
Because there's no consistency. Also, do you guys remember 10?
There's no consistency, like how there's 10 forms of water breathing, and then I created an 11th form.
Oh, anybody can create anything at any point in time, but Tanjiro never does, even though he's combined different forms.
How Zenitsu learns the basis of the lightning breathing, and his other pupil never learned that, and all the other forms have to do with learning that basic, but he doesn't, but he's still able to do those forms.
How demon slayers are completely fine with killing all demons because they see them as nothing but horrible monsters, but yet there's a 5th form, Blessed Rain, after a drought which kills them peacefully.
Zetsu, Ren, Hatsu, Gyo, In, En, Shu, Ko, Ken, Ryu, and what all of them do? Of course not. Just because you add a lot of things into a power system doesn't make it inherently better. And not only that...
And it also doesn't make it inherently worse. Just because you can't remember all these things doesn't mean that somebody can't.
And you can just be like, okay, what is the difference between a wind breather and a water breather? You would have to explain that. You can be like, well, water does this. Does it? This is just your interpretation. It's too simple. It's so simple that they don't even explain it. It's the silent movie of this. Yeah, we'll show it, and they'll understand it. I don't understand it.
The majority of them can be classified as basically the same thing, despite being labeled as separate ones. Gyo is the ability where the user focuses a lot of their aura.
How did we... I would classify this as an okie doke.
Yeah, oh, this is an okie doke.
Because it's not other shonen. It is why Demon Slayer stands out from Hunter x Hunter. Y'all, Hunter x Hunter ain't all that good.
Yes, Mr. Video Man, Nen sucks. Next question, nigga.
Legit! We got it!
I am back. Did I get bingo?
Shut up! We understand. You don't dig Nen. You don't dig Hunter x Hunter. Understandable. You got some other shonen, my dude? You seen Naruto?
On their body. And Ko is the ability where the user focuses all of their aura in one place on their body. Are you kidding me? Why are these labeled as different things? And get this.
Because you can focus them on your eyes and then see what the enemy is doing and then still have enough energy to put into your legs to move in a way that you would be advantageous for you. Whereas with focusing it all in one place, it's like, I am close to this person. Now I can focus it all on my fist just to give that final devastating attack because I don't need to focus on dodging or anything. I don't see how you don't see the difference between using 80% of your energy and then having 10% to put other places and then using 100%.
Breathing styles are literally the exact same thing he's criticizing Nen for.
Almost like fan month who are too deep into fan stuff cannot separate and differentiate those things. They just see it as this is bad, this is good. They're the same, but no, this is bad.
Nothing to say.
I think Nen's better than Haki. I will not submit it's better than Devil Fruits. I think Devil Fruits is
Sman Explains Comics says, Black Cat's Apostles of the Stars over Hunter x Hunter's Phantom Troop.
Oh yeah, I'll rock with that.
Shu is the ability where the user focuses their aura into an object. None of these should have specific names to them, and by doing so, it simply overcomplicates something that should realistically be nameless and all fall under the umbrella of different Nen manipulation techniques. There should be no names. Getting too specific with these things...
Okay, take the names away then. Like, legitimately. Yeah. What changes with it having a name and not having a name? The concept is still the same.
It would have been better if he was showed like when they were fighting in the tower, and their teacher was just like, "Hey, use Zen," and you would have to remember what that Zen was. But he doesn't showcase any of that. It's not like they'll go, "I'll use my Hatsu," and then they'll do the thing, and then within that second, you see what that thing is. So it's I don't know what he means.
Why is this bitch still talking about Hunter x Hunter? Well, we got like a minute left.
It's crazy. This was just
this is an okie doke.
Dude, it's like the other video that we did, which was what was it? Where it was the Jujutsu Kaisen My Hero thing. Where it was just pure and simple. My Hero sucks balls, y'all.
Then how do I know the difference between water wheel, blessed rain after a drought, and water wheel horizontal?
Only makes the reader care less and less, where in the event that something
or the reader cares more and more because there's a lot of people that call it one of the best systems because they care so much about it.
They should actually pay attention to comes up, they won't care because everything has already been overcomplicated. And to circle this all back around, you won't ever come across an issue like this with Demon Slayer. The most you'll find is little inconsistencies with how it doesn't make.
But you noted the consistency was one of the positives! No! How can you say consistency is one of the positives and then go, you're gonna notice some little inconsistencies? How do you not?
Our burgers are 100% free of rat poop. Now you may notice a little bit of rat poop in there.
Like, what didn't you just say? Our vegan burgers are 100% animal free. Now we do cook it in animal fat, but the burger itself is. Come on now! Tell me what the fish snake breathing. Dude, what happened is this guy is nuts. He just made a really earlier on he said that one of the reasons that Demon Slayer is so good is because of its consistency. And then he literally just said, you're gonna know the worst you're gonna get is some little inconsistencies.
Sense that the Nichiren sword is supposed to tell the Slayer its affinity of breath style by changing the color of its blade, when people can literally make their own breath styles up, like beast breathing and sound breathing. So it couldn't be possible for this ritual to predict that, but I've already made a whole video on that too. And this is really something you have to dig for to find problems with. In Hunter x Hunter, it's painfully in your face and explained ad nauseum. But in conclusion, the main idea is that if you're
525 says, I'm cool with the gay people, just don't show me that gay stuff. Stay in that closet.
Complete consistency.
Thank you, Triggered.
The consistency of Triggered.
Thank you so much.
Capable at writing a complicated story that tackles many difficult topics, then do it. But it's a high risk, high reward, and if not executed correctly, I much rather prefer the story that doesn't grapple with hard topics.
You don't like Hunter x Hunter. What are the other shonen? Sir!
All other shonen.
Sir! We were sold a bill of goods!
He should have just said legitimately why it stands out from Hunter x Hunter. Why it's better than Hunter x Hunter.
Yourself, you baby!
But instead, simple, clear, and direct ones, but it's executed far better. Thank you all for watching.
Efficiency.
That's a 10.
Like an 8.
That's a 10 for me. He sucks.
Yeah, he does suck. The people who show screenshots, show a screenshot of your URL as well, because you have a specific one to you. And I don't want y'all doubling, tripling, quadrupling up.
There you go. That makes sense. This was a Hunter x Hunter hit piece hitting inside the Demon Slayer praise video.
Legit! I put Okie Doke there as one of the ones that like, okay, it's gonna be really hard to get this. And this was this!
Lol, what a terrible video.
Man!
Van cooked this stream because there's no cooking here.
Muff just wanted to talk about Hunter x Hunter and just say, you know what? Because then he'd get people on his neck. He would get people like the people that came to our Jujutsu Kaisen video didn't watch the video just on our neck.
Not even knowing what we were talking about.
It's like, you guys don't Hunter x Hunter. It's like, you don't know.
You truly don't know what our arguments are.
At all.
Y'all, that was really bad. Oh, bingo is no longer active. Yeah. You know, we haven't done questions in a minute.
Crazy
Let's do
that
some
homeboy
questions.
actually read the manga, potentially.
Yeah, there's a potential there.
Because I don't believe it.
We're not doing any T20s. We're not doing any salad saying not this time. We're just gonna do some in questions. It's been a while. Let's do some questions. I did have that Aruma homework.
You did have that Aruma homework.
Here's what
I wasn't gonna remind you because
Here's-
you were supposed to do that.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make an alarm.
Oh,
Dutch says,
scam.
BG, did you do homework?
Hey.
Scam.
Hey.
Scammed.
And I'm gonna set an alarm for Tuesday.
Yep. Yes, you are.
At 10 p.m.
Yep.
Called
Oh man, Tuesday 10 p.m. I was sick and I was
Aruma. There we go.
Scam.
Yes, I understand,
No,
Dutch.
you don't understand. How could you scam them?
There are no scams here. Sometimes people just forget.
Meme Spice says, so about Frankie backstory, DD yada it yet?
Nope. And I'm not gonna.
For a long time.
Yep, blame Sebastian.
Um,
I've said it. Y'all, he y'all over. I had an alarm set. I have erased that alarm. Cause
I have erased that alarm.
I was going to. I told him, give me a couple of weeks. The same week he rocked up, he was like, did you read it? I'm like, no, here are my reasons, blah, blah, blah. Then he did the GIF. I was like, all right, you.
Rage baiting is 2 videos and neither of them talk about the actual story. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Man, they really didn't. Huh?
Can we take a peek at no? Salad saying no. He read the manga.
For
He has a
obvious
video
reasons.
going over the final arc. Boop, 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 boop. Give me points for the delay? No. What type of shit is this? What do you think of Kaido? Kaido's cool.
I like Kaido.
I wish we would have gotten more of his personality before the big fight because I really like drunk Kaido's hey everything blah 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 blah. I really like that. And I like this backstory a bit.
I would have preferred just no backstory. If it was just gonna be, it seems more that seemed more like an obligation of just like villains need backstory. Let me give them a backstory. It was like half a chapter. No, wasn't even half a chapter. It was just he's a little. I saw he's a little, and now he's a big. And you know, it didn't really tell us too much more than what we already knew. You know, it just would have.
It
I
wasn't
would have just
necessary.
preferred he just not even have it. But I like Kaido. I would place him in the top. Would I place him in the top 5?
Oh, definitely
Probably.
not. No, definitely not.
Yeah, there are too many good ones. And I'm a big dumb
Chris the
smelly
Choke
coral
says,
mark.
what's a worse series, Fire Force or Demon Slayer?
Fire Force.
Fire Force has almost nothing good about it.
We're talking Big Mom, Eniru, and Croc, and that's just 3. Yeah, it's not happening.
I know.
Hashtag T23. That's not a question. Did you know that All Might had a family? Google it. Yeah, he talked about that earlier.
Yeah. I'm just checked out of My Hero in terms of learning about things. And it's like, hey, Jiro's favorite food is fermented beans. Okay. Good for her, I guess.
DA, cut one from the universe. Comey or Sket Dan?
Comey.
That's crazy.
Sket Dance is my favorite manga outside of One
And yet
Piece.
you won't finish it.
That's exactly why I won't finish it. You don't understand that.
Dude, and I'm hurt Satsuki ended. I'm hurt.
Was it axed or was it a conclusion that are just like, yep, that is it?
It felt like this is just gonna be the life from now on.
It is what
so
it is.
It felt like a conclusion that was open because they are getting 2 special chapters to just be like, hey, something happened here.
Shame that.
It's such a good manga.
Yeah. Past tense, sir.
It's still a good manga. It just no longer runs, and it's still getting special chapters.
Where's this anime?
The worst.
Miracle got an anime. Funny how that works, huh?
Hey, but you know
Coincidence?
what?
Probably.
The anime is gonna be efficient because there's no more story that needs to come out.
If it even gets an anime.
It should, because it's great. The worst chapter you have ever read between Fire Force and Demon Slayer? Probably, and this is spoilers, probably the tie-in to Soul Eater for that Fire Force.
Nope. It was the real life, once it hit that live.
Oh,
action.
yeah! I almost dropped the whole manga.
Shaking.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like,
that was by far the worst ever.
And it was just pointing at the camera and pontificating. And I'm like, this doesn't belong here or anywhere.
I don't know if I even read it.
I had to look up to see if it was just like, is this the translator just going rogue? What is this? Y'all don't understand. Like I said about Jinkari,
really bad.
Unless you rocking with Fairy Tail, don't talk about, not Fairy Tail, Fire Force, don't talk about it. Because it is an experience. And I am so glad that it is gone from my mind.
Dude, Gavin had this whole big thing about that video.
Did that happen?
Bro,
I'll be on Twitter and just see people. I'm like, what were their powers? I don't remember. And then you were just like, oh, don't you remember like the first, second, and third gen fire people? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I have a little bit more space in my mind for Fire Force than you.
It is bits and it is flashes. It is like the class 1A of just like, you ask me how many people are in Fire Force, the main people, I'll be like, 5? I don't know.
I was wondering which one you guys like more, the journey or the ending of a story. I'm more of a journey dude.
The journey can have a lot more good things than an ending, because the ending is just that. It's just an ending.
It's just
it's a lot easier to get bad, because if you don't like the ending is just the ending. But the journey could be 200-300 chapters of good stuff, and then the ending is like, yeah, that's fine. So it's definitely the journey for me.
Who should join?
I like things to end though.
Yes,
but I'll say the only exception to that is Claymore, because that has one of my favorite endings of all time. Of just spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna go get my package then, because I am.
It's just gonna be a single line, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, read it. Don't watch it. Read it, or just watch like the first 5 episodes, because it's good. I've always loved the make no mistake. You won this fight. There's no contention. You win, but I'm taking over for now. I love that so much. Like, you did win. I got my own little revenge I gotta get though. So that's my thing. So while he's going, he got his package. Pause. Who should join the Straw Hats outside of Carrot? Please, Oda put Carrot and the crew. I think that they should have just. I don't think Jinbei should be there.
Period.
There are certain Straw Hats that don't get enough, and having more people creates a bigger problem, because there's more time. There's not enough time to go around for the people already in the crew.
Plus, Jinbei sucks.
Outside of that,
but I'd be fine with Yamato. I'd be fine with. I think Bartolomeo's stick would run too quickly, so not him.
I'm going no one.
I'd be good with Yamato.
Give me a Vegapunk. Give me Lilith. I like Lilith.
I can rock with Bonnie
and Brooke. Give me Lilith. Give me Bonnie. I can rock with a Bonnie.
I can rock with a Bonnie.
I rescind that because I'm a stupid cuck.
Where would you put Last of Us 21 and Goku T23 on your tier list? The new one.
Last of Us 21 would be an anomaly. Did we have an anomaly tier?
Yes.
We did. He would be
DSP
an anomaly.
was in it.
Yeah, I remember that. And T23 would be the top tier.
He might be number one. There's only one case.
Yeah, there's anybody. I can't say that there's anybody else that can't be replicated.
Yeah.
Other than him. Somebody can come up with Mark style. Triggered style is essentially Young Defiant turned up. There's nobody
Or
like,
turned down.
It's turned sideways.
It's turned.
But there is no one else other than T21. Whoever that muff is. Whoever that muff is.
What do you think would happen if Kaido would have went to Marineford? It depends on why he went to Marineford, but I feel like everyone would have just tried to gang up on him and defeat him.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like he brought his crew. It looks like he was just solo, and the Scabbards put some hands to him. They didn't really damage him.
Annoying.
They didn't really damage him, but they did show that he could be harmed. And I think that if enough of the admirals had just ganged up on him, they probably could have put in some work. But that's the whole how strong are the admirals compared to the Yonko thing. That's power scaling stuff, which I am not a part of outside of Deborah versus Perfect Cell, which I can still
of
talk
course
to you guys about if you would like remember guys' efficiency.
Did you do the Spider-Man homework I gave you guys? I don't remember any
I do not remember Spider-Man homework.
What was the homework, Priscilla? Did you guys know the planets are all aligned today? Really? That's interesting. Hey, I saw an eclipse and that was cool. So I'm rocking it.
Fire Force is on my list. Jesus, is it that bad? Yes, it is.
It is probably the worst thing I've ever read manga wise.
I would agree. There's so few things about that. Digimon or Pokemon? Pokemon games, Digimon show.
Digimon period.
Digimon doesn't have that many good games outside of that one RPG, which is essentially Pokemon. It's not essentially Pokemon. It's turn-based, which is good, but Pokemon has a lot more.
Cyber Sleuth?
Cyber Sleuth, yeah.
Did you guys... what show did you like as a kid that you don't like now as an adult? Rugrats.
Rugrats would probably be it. But I don't go back to those. I don't go back to those types of shows where it's just like... Even back then, I was kind of just like a 7 on it. I'll go back to a Pepper Ran or a Rocco or stuff.
Recess.
Ran and Sippy, Recess, stuff like that. But things like that.
Things that were just on and you were just like, it's good enough for the
It's
time.
cartoons and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really go back. Because like I said, I'm scared. I don't want to go back to all that and just be like, oh, it's not all that.
It's not all that.
It's some of that. Oh,
no! Would breathing be better if they were actual elements? Also, have you seen Tanaka is Always Listless? I have not.
I have seen like 4 episodes of that, and I liked it. I saw that right after, because somebody recommended it based on MyAnimeLists after I read Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto. And I was just like, yep, I like it. It is on my list. It's just one of those things where it's just like, I'm going to come back to this one day. I just kind of haven't.
It's not one of the worst manga we've experienced. It is the worst thing you've experienced. If I believed in 0 out of 10, it would belong to Fire Force. Fire Force is really bad.
As far as the breathing, yes, it would be helpful.
Yes.
In terms of just like, you're using fire and the fire hurts and you can conjure this fire. This is why this person can't do it, because they cannot conjure that fire, because it needs to be, your breath needs to be put in different places to ignite.
It would make a lot
or
more sense.
whatever.
Casey Musgraves has a new album. Nice. Heard that new final Sum 41 album. Boy, I have words.
Oh no.
What do you think of the Gorosei? They're cool.
Yeah, I like them. I like that we're getting a lot more of them.
I wish it wasn't all of them at once, but I understand that Oda is just like, this story is ending.
I saw a theory where they are essentially like the satellites for Emu. So they're all just one big hive mind. And that's why they're all essentially the same character.
The type of personality, yeah. Which would mirror what's going on with Vegapunk, where they all have their own type of personality and their own types of wants and goals and such.
But yeah, I think that they're a big enough threat and everything where you could just go, okay, what now?
What do you think of Gold D. Roger? I feel like he's one of the few characters I wouldn't mind like a 30 chapter mini story for once One Piece is done. And there's very few characters I can say that for.
Yeah, because the introduction of him just going, oh no, there's some pirates over there, and he just go, oh no, we gotta stop him. He's like, you just want to fight them motherfuckers. that speaks a lot about him. And yeah, like you said, he's an interesting enough character where I'm like, I would follow this person.
How would you rank the Misfit class from least favorite to favorite?
Ooh, that is going to be homework because that is
Misfit
difficult. Iruma.
Oh, okay. Ooh, oh yeah. Ooh,
yeah, it's going to be difficult. Number one is obvious because of
Clara.
course it is. With a bullet.
Yeah, no.
Easy.
Give Claire everything. Give her Aruma.
She deserves it.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of these muffs pretending like she all pieces of
the agenda needs to stop.
It's disgusting.
It needs to stop.
I hate it.
Did you read the recent chapter?
I have not.
Well, I'll just say the agenda needs to stop.
It's the push. The mangaka is just like, here it is. But it's like, but you, all this stuff you're just gonna leave her out to dry? Yes. Like, no, don't. Okay, all right.
Yep, homework that. What do you think of Blackbeard? Blackbeard is... It's gonna be... I love his personality, but it's gonna be very telling, the end of Blackbeard. My thoughts on him. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, his goal, what's going on with him, because even now they were just like, this muff is his lineage, he's different. There's a lot going on with him that we don't know. What we've seen, I really like. I love the fact that he is not some big nut swinging muff, because he goes up to law, he's just like, I wasn't told that you could do that. He ain't supposed to be able to do that. He's not just like, no, I'm smashing all you. He's just like, we gotta jump this dude. You turn him into a lady, poison him. We'll just start smashing and go invisible and all. We gotta jump him. Oh no, what the is he doing? Where's the intel on it? I like that. He's just not this
big, imposing. Yeah, I'm the greatest.
Even though I got the biggest, best devil fruit, he still gotta jump law with his dumb crew.
Do you guys think Carrot's gonna pull up in the cover story? Because I'm still upset she was just ditched.
I hope so. I don't know how far this Yamato thing is.
Mm-hmm. How far in the past it is, how current it is, if they had already left on Zoe.
I hope so, because we just got nothing.
And gotta have something. Will you do more game streams? Yes. I had it set up for recently over on the Twitch they played Content Warning, and that was gonna be the next thing I streamed over here, but I could not make that stream. Most Uno streams will always be streamed. But yeah, we'll do. And Dan and I are probably going to do a stream or two over on here and then switch it over to Twitch. Probably like alternate or something, depending on the game, depending on what the people want to see.
In Bros Competition, that was fun.
Yeah. Dude, what was it? Power Stone? I just watched that recently. It's so much fun, dude. Has there ever been a manga, anime? As far as game streams, like single player games, they're probably all gonna be over on Twitch. Maybe I'll do the other Virtues Last Rewards over here since I started it over here, so it makes sense to finish it over here. But anything else is gonna be over on the Twitch. Like when I play AI Somnium, it was over on the Twitch. Has there ever been a manga, anime, show, or game where you hated it at first but came around to loving it and having more appreciation? I could probably name one for each. You just have to give me time for it. Legend of Legaia 2 I thought was a terrible game at first, and I really grew to kind of like
What was that Tales game?
Busteria?
No.
Zillia? Grace's F?
Grace's. Grace's F has such a simplistic battle system in the beginning because they're children and they're untrained. And I was just like, this thing sucks. They're slow. They got like 2-3 hit combos. I'm like, I can't do this. And then they grew up and got better. I was like, oh, thank goodness. And it turned out to be one of my favorite, probably my favorite Tales game.
I always hear about Grace's F from you, so I think it is your favorite one. Would you want to be part of the Gorosei? Absolutely not. They're monsters.
Yeah, horrible.
What's your top 5 favorite? Oh, write that down for homework though, because I do want to do one for each of those. Has there ever been a manga anime show that you turned on from hating it to loving it? What are your top 5 favorite anime English voice actors? Ian Sinclair, number 1 with a bullet. I can rock with a Bosch, but he's a little too samey for me. Sabbath, I love me some Sabbath. Oh, Sunny Straight. Sunny Straight's super good. Yeah, you might want to homework that one too.
Did it first and came around.
DA probably has more off the top of his head because he.
Top of my head, I'm an autograph person.
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
I have a bigger sample size, so it's gonna be harder. If anything,
I think it's easier because you could come off the dome and be like, I love these people.
But top 5?
Yeah, that's the problem.
I can name some performances that I absolutely love. Rukia,
but
Michelle Ruff.
I would definitely write that down.
In love her Rukia. Danganronpa has a lot of good people.
Yeah, I love. Dude, Valley Girl Junko Inoshima from the anime is legitimately one of my favorite performances of all time.
That was anime English. VAs, and that's not an anime, I realized as I was talking. So yeah, we can put that on there. But Ian's gonna be number 1 because his Brook is
his Magnum.
Oh, Stephanie Young.
Oh yeah,
that's probably just the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats are all they knocked it out. Finbrina within my eye. Get in there.
Yeah. Okay.
The lady that does Sachi Kiryuin, who's my favorite female.
Cucks. That's not a question.
What could be?
What are your 5 favorite characters in One Piece, excluding the Straw Hats?
We did that before, and I remember. I can tell you, excluding the Straw Hats, is gonna be. I think I only had 1 Straw Hat in there, but let me just look at this. No, that doesn't help because I was just like, let me look up Mom because Big Mom is gonna be in there. But then it's just like favorite moments, all right, because I don't clear out any of this stuff because I am El Cuco Magnifico. Top 10 One Piece characters. This was my list. Usopp, Big Mom. So you can just start with Big Mom. Big Mom, Carrot, Odin, Kizaru. You can skip Brook. You can skip Robin and Foxy. So those would be my 5. Probably would change now after because Kuma would probably buddy.
Yeah,
it's a really
write it down.
But
write
this is
down
recency bias.
Yeah,
that could
but they're
be.
awesome. Vegapunk might hit it.
But Big Mom is definitely going to be in there. Carrot, Odin, Kizaru. Foxy can be kicked out for somebody else, probably. He could be a safe 6, but I will write that down.
Okay. DA, what did you think of the new My Hero Academia chapter?
It was on a break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that is good because I can't take that. My heart can't. I'm so sick of this.
It's so bad.
I just like... Just end it. Just so we can just fight. I keep saying this, but just end it so we can just finally be like...
It's over.
We go. The portals opened up in that month, and they just go, uh-oh, here comes Mineta. Oh, great. An injured Mineta. oh, joy.
He'll do something.
Mother Kaminari is already brain fried.
Yeah.
He's a liability. Get him out of here. Did Mom Arms come back in a chapter? We didn't even... Of course they were gonna come back.
Of course.
We knew this. But
it's
chapter?
The final fight. It's time.
Come on. In the horn? Would a fingernail have worked? Is it just the energy stored within the horn? What is it? And now they've gotten rid of daddy, the horn's not gonna work anymore. Recovery girl. Well, it's not gonna work. It may not work. You've damaged your quirk DNA or whatever. Can we go into our visage mind and cure it? Nope, just dead. Or maybe not. Or whatever we need, but just don't even think about it for right now. This old bush. Come on. And then it just starts with, I said it was going to start with Eraserhead. And they're just yelling about this Shadow Man.
Does Deku have any quirks left? Cause what can he even do?
He ain't got nothing.
No, he's done. He might have all for one. Or one for all.
If he does,
he wouldn't have
the original man should still be inside of him.
That's the passing on.
So...
Oh wait, no.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
It was All for One gave him a quirk that could stockpile. I forget if he gave him a quirk that could stockpile or a quirk that could transfer.
If it's transfer, then
he's the transfer guy and he still has to stockpile.
Do you guys have a game or series you say has your favorite art style?
A game or series?
That's your favorite art style. Maybe Coraline. I love Coraline's art style. You might want to homework that one.
I'm trying to think. Because there's something on the tip of my tongue.
Was there ever a villain that made you one appearance that you immediately were interested in? That was Moonface for me and Bosa Rinkin. It was so ridiculous. It was amazing. First appearance instantly liked them. Interested in. Kumagawa Misogi from Madaka Box. Of course. Instant interest in my mans.
I said this a lot of times, but in Rokudo's Bad Girls, there is an obvious number one choice who is the obvious objective choice that it cannot be disputed, and then there's a second choice that is somehow even more correct than the first choice. The second choice girl, who was more correct than the first choice girl, she was the person where I was just like, ooh! I don't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah, of course, I am going to be reading.
But she's like I think she's the third or the fourth one. You'll know when you see her because you're just like, okay, Dunzo. Because she's the obvious number one choice who's better than the obvious objective number one choice. And there can't be any other option because there simply can't be any other option.
What's worse, the final war arc or the fourth Great Ninja War arc?
War arc is the worst arc I've ever read.
Yeah, it's by far.
I don't care about you and Gavin and Fire Force.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that. Suck my balls. I was detached from that, so maybe it is worse.
You know what? That's fair. You glazed over.
I was just like, yeah, madness. Yeah, okay. Oh, here comes you and this thing and fire and your mama's inside of you. Isn't she inside of all of us? I guess, whatever. Oh, your little brother and you're a god and it's over and soul leader and
save the world, man, or whatever.
Great. I am done with Fire Force. That was my takeaway. Fire Force has ended for me. And a lot of things happened, and a lot of things probably didn't happen. But they sure did, or they sure didn't.
And it doesn't matter to me anymore.
It don't matter.
The Spider-Man homework was Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and Miles Morales movies ranked from favorite to least favorite.
My goodness. Oh, there it is right there.
So we did have homework. Can you guys...
I will put that with the others.
Can you guys play Smash Ultimate sometime? DA is way better than me at Smash. I would need to get some time in it, but sure.
My issue is I have not played it in forever.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah,
big rusty.
Yeah, it might be worth just getting it together and then playing.
Dutch says, thoughts on the new Yuichi reveal about his dad being Sukuna twin.
Ain't no
Notora
way.
Says,
you didn't.
To this day, the Soul Eater being in the same universe in the Takamaki chapter is the worst shit in THR world in any manga I've read.
There ain't no way.
You didn't hear about
Dude.
that? And Yuji being the big awesome beating people up right now?
There ain't. And this is one of those things where I'm just like, no, they're just lying. Because I've expressed my disbelief in these things. So somebody could say something, I'm like, what? Big freak out. That didn't happen. And then you just go, ha ha ha, it didn't happen. What the is this? That sounds horrible.
Hey,
I don't believe it.
people are saying they're cooking.
I don't believe it. And it's fake. And
Your fake news. Now you instantly have to look it up. There's not really much to say about Emu. He haven't seen enough. Kurigiri.
What did Turt say? Oh, to the day the Soul Eater be in the same universe. Yeah, because once the moon hit, you were just like,
Oh, here we go. It's a prequel.
You instantly just go, your mind just goes, okay, he's just using the same motif. Because Muff and Hiro Mashima and his stencils, he keeps putting happy and happy and you just go, okay, it's the same motif, it's iconic. So he's just going, okay, let's put it in there, and then people will clap and just go, hey, Soul Eater, I remember Soul Eater, and then just go, no.
I want it to be known explicitly what this is. Kurigiri, you're gonna have to ask me that once I read Vigilantes, because I feel like a lot of his characterization is gonna come from there.
I hear there's a lot of miracle stuff in that.
Hey, that's all I needed. If Bleach was, this was a legit thing, dude.
Dude,
I can't believe you.
What the is this?
I thought you thought there were lies happening here.
Yes.
No, sir.
This is so stupid.
No, it's cooking. I'm sorry you can't recognize a cook when you see one. You ain't chefing it up in the kitchen.
That's why I don't want to read this book.
Dude, people are loving it. They're like,
Of
this
course
is
they
the
are.
hypest.
I don't want to read this.
This sounds terrible.
Where's Nobara?
If Bleach was a slice of life, would you read it? Characters are the same. Asking for a raccoon, I mean friend. Absolutely.
Yeah, because that was my favorite stuff in the beginning. I loved the interactions between Rukia and all that. I just like Rukia. I'm a big, dumb, smelly Rukia mark. Yeah, absolutely. I think that he wrote,
all the
characters.
Orihime stuff I love. Like, yeah, I would love a slice of life.
He writes the character interaction stuff quite well.
I'd prefer it. Top 5 least favorite.
Yotara says, Yuji went from writing bitch in his own manga to being able to go toe-to-toe with Fraudkuna in like a chapter BTW.
Yeah, no. That's why people are like, yeah, we were just waiting for Yuji to become the protagonist again, and now he's cooking. Yeah, no, people are big into this, kiddo.
Great.
Big into it.
This is what we were all waiting for.
Clearly.
True peak.
True
has
peak.
arrived.
Yeah.
Least favorite straw hats.
One Piece characters.
One Piece characters, sorry.
Top 5 least one favorite One Piece characters.
I was just looking to see if we did that. That's going to be... Because there's a lot of people that just come down, I don't really care about them. And not too many people where I actively dislike them. Jinbei is obvious.
Yeah,
but,
number 1 with a bullet.
we're going to write that down.
Do you guys love Shrek? I love Shrek 1 and 2 and never seen any of the other Shreks in my life.
I saw some of 3 on a Greyhound bus. I saw some of Rush Hour 3 on a Greyhound bus.
Hey, you're good.
Oh no!
There is.
I've seen. I've always seen, because I'm a big fan of Who's on First. I saw
that was the good joke in that movie.
Excellent.
And you have seen the movie.
Great.
How about Chris Tucker perving on the Asian girl?
I'm not allowed to comment on that.
That is fair. I understand what you mean.
I don't want to get clipped.
All right, we're out of here. We've got nothing else to do. Stop coming to these.
Stop coming to these. Don't know what we're doing next time. Demon Time is dead.
Yeah, he took it down, y'all.
In chat. Somebody must have said something.
Somebody snitched.
Somebody was snitching. Somebody did something, but it's gone. Yeah, Who's on First is one of the greatest jokes. It's great. It's fantastic. I don't think anybody has done it better than the original.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, and I love Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want to see Rumble in the Bronx.
I feel like the story is gonna be trash. The
And the
story is
dub.
only gonna be trash because of the dub. I feel like if you were to watch it in the original with subtitle, it might be fine.
Because I saw Drunken Master and Drunken Master. Those movies are great. But I'm a big Drunken Master fan. So I become the in Demon Slayer. I'm just like, this is all that matters. Look at
Not
him
the
go.
story, not the-
This is
nothing.
oh, I got all these other drinking forms. This is the drunk lady. I'm like, oh, the drunk lady. Oh, I am big dumb monkey brain in the final fight of Drunken Master. 'Cause
Really?
It's so good. It's amazing. But that's Jackie Chan and the choreography and all the time that he put
Yeah.
into it. And all the big 1 minute shots of all this super intricate
Kicking
stuff.
dude alone is
dude.
such a good fight.
The monkey brain.
That's where I start getting
Watch
my-
that fight, monkey brain.
Not that Dragon Ball yelly
No,
stuff.
he sure is kicking. Oh, look at him kick! And that's all. That's the base mindset of who he kicking.
Yep. Regular revisited. You're not getting a double episode or anything.
No.
No
Demon
Jujutsu
Slayer,
Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I was calling in my mind Jujutsu Kaisen Simple Domain Month. And I'm like, wait for a Jujutsu Kaisen Domain Expansion Month. But this is Simple Domain Month.
That's fantastic. Yep. We're probably at some point we're debating on whether to do, or I threw it to you and you never got back to me. Should we do a month or should we do that Naruto because reasons?
Yeah, I'm sure. I thought I did.
Nope. You said what would be the month, and I said movie month. Shrug shoulders. Question mark. And you never
I
responded.
remember it was because I was at work and they're
Yeah,
that was when they were
cracked down.
cracking down.
Yeah.
But they've loosened that.
Yeah. So soon, maybe in June, maybe July, we're gonna do either the Naruto because reasons, or we're gonna do a movie month.
Oh yeah, Bleach month again because the first time went so well.
We definitely have to do a Bleach video soon for the 1,000-Year Blood War because one, people have been calling for it, and two, I know there's videos out there of just like, oh, now y'all want to be part of Bleach. All right, the end. The end.
Stop coming to these.
Soon we'll have a new ending. It's not going to be this week. It may not be next week, but we've got the idea for it, so it's coming.
Why are you saying we? I got nothing to do with this.
You don't want Mark Month. Your points were giving willingly. We were there for cupcakes. Obey or